Wachowski. Number 24, Logan Tapman. Number 28, Colin McGuire. Number 31, Austin Riney. Number 33, Nick Matsfield. Number 35, Nathaniel Matten. Number 39, Matt Cassidy. Number 42, Dominic Rowland. Number 44, Connor Moore. And number 47, Sam Allwright.
A tough task to begin their trip in Northeast Ohio. I say begin the trip in Northeast Ohio.
And now here is the starting lineup for Lynchburg.
Lynchburg was here a couple weeks ago.
Leading off and playing shortstop, number 7, Brandon Garcia. Batting second and playing second base, number 21, Benton Jones. Batting third and playing right field, number 16, Quinn Madden. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 18, Sean Kotarov. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 5, Eric Hyatt. Batting sixth and playing third base, number 15, Gavin Collins. Batting seventh, the designated hitter, number 9, Joe Hoehne. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 20, Eddie Gimbel. Batting ninth and playing center field, number 27, O'Kelly McWilliams of Florida. Warming up in the bullpen, the starting pitcher for the Hornets, number 45, Wesley Arrington. The head coach of the Hornets is Travis Beasley. He is assisted by Lucas Jones, Oscar Garcia, Michael Solbach, Dave Garcia, and Cameron Lane.
Lynchburg Hornets, you get the team that's thought to be the best in the nation this year, the Endicott Gulls. The Gulls have not lost a game.
And now here are the non-starters for the home team in Game 2, Endicott.
Of 37. So this is
Number 2, Patrick Crowley. Number 6, Caleb Clark.
Not just among the 8 teams that are in the tournament here right now.
Number 8, Richard Forestier.
Our little mini pregame show goes on. But amongst
Number 9, J.P. DeCallier. Number 10, John Connolly. Number 11, Jason Rosado. Number 13, A.J. Hand. Number 14, Nicholas Kanata. Number 16, Charlie Hale. Number 17, Ryan Waltman. Number 21, Kyle Grabowski. Number 22, Brady Stewart. Number 23, Matt Papalardo. Number 24, Evan Scully. Number 25, Will Fox. Number 32, James Benestad. Number 33, Diane Bagshaw. Number 44, Elijah Moses. And number 50, Chris Jenkins. Now here's today's starting lineup for Endicott. Leading off and playing right field, number 4, Joey Framartino. Batting second and playing second base, number 42, Dylan Pacheco. Batting third and playing left field, number 34, Nicholas Novarangelo. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 19, Danny McDougal. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 35, Brendan O'Neill. Batting sixth and playing shortstop, number 3, T.J. Laconis. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 15, Robbie Wachowski. Batting eighth and catching, number 27, John Mulray. Batting ninth, the center fielder, number 5, Brendan Walsh. starting pitcher for the Gulls is number 30, Jordan Robinson. The head coach of the Gulls is Ryan Haley. He is assisted by Alex Lavargo, Frankie Felice, Steve Busby, and Patrick Covenant. The umpires for Game 2 at first base, J.D. Torres, at second base, Keith Peterson, at third base, Rex Kohler, and behind the plate, John Grabowski. This is Game 2 of the 2024 NCAA Division III Championship Tournament.
6-3. That was a game where Misericordia went up to nothing.
As we honor our great nation and the men and women serving our country at home and abroad, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Bracket play. Then when you get to the championship series, it's a best 2 out of 3. If you remember that from last year, that was Lynchburg winning the 2 out of 3 against Johns Hopkins. A lot of information. We are close to first pitch. We're going to keep it right here. We may step aside for a little bit of a break. And I'll tell you so much more about these two teams and the rest of the tournament. Pomona Pitzer looked good out there. That's a squad that is a conference rival of Laverne. So you've got a little bit of a measuring stick there when you're watching a team like that. Pomona Pitzer earlier, they did lose to Misericordia. Now, the bottom half of the bracket, or what the NCAA is calling bracket 2, is going to be the second seeded Salve Regina. They will take on Birmingham Southern. That game is scheduled for 4:45. I don't know if we'll get that on time since we're starting this one a little bit late. Game 4, the nightcap, will be Wisconsin Whitewater taking on Randolph-Macon, an ODAC rival of the Lynchburg Hornets. So it's a chance you could have 2 ODAC teams in that championship series playing for a national title. That would be down the road, though. The brackets don't mix until you get to that championship series. So the 4 teams of main concern right now for us are going to be Endicott and Lynchburg first and foremost in this game. And then we'll figure out who Lynchburg plays tomorrow. If Lynchburg wins this game, they will be taking on Misericordia at 1:15. If Lynchburg were to lose game 1, they would have to get up early and play a little breakfast and baseball against Pomona Pitzer at 10 a.m. tomorrow with the season on the line. So you're guaranteed 2 games. And I know as baseball fans, we're going to enjoy it. Yes, you have high expectations. You have high hopes, and you should have high expectations and high hopes. But I think one thing to remember is it's just enjoyable out here in Lynchburg. It's been an exciting season so far. We've seen so much incredible action. Personalities in this team are incredible. It's so much fun learning more about those personalities. The Lynchburg social media team, LHSN, as a whole, has got so many groups on the ground up here in Northeast Ohio. There's going to be some great content. We're already got some great content. I think Lynchburg setting the bar when it comes to just how to deliver take the actions for fans, the video, pictures from Lynchburg. Get some spoken word. Hopefully we can turn it into baseball poetry today. We do have video options, and we would encourage you to try out mixing our audio with the video that's out there. It does take a little extra effort, but the links are out there. If you want to check it out, if you want to try to make that happen, we would appreciate that. All right, Endicott, we've gone through the pregame introductions and instructions with our umpires at home plate. So Endicott has taken the field. We're actually pretty close to pretty close to game time here, in fact, between the Endicott Gulls, who will be wearing their home whites with a dark blue cap. They've got green trim, and the Lynchburg Hornets. Hornets are the visitors. They'll be clad in the road grays today with a black helmet, black hat with the red trim. Some of the players sporting some red sleeves, red cleats, a little bit of mix of red, black, and white cleats for Lynchburg's squad. Let's tell you about the defense here for Endicott really quick. The pitcher is a great one. It's number 30, Jordan Gottsman. He's a senior. He's the region pitcher of the year, and he is an All-American this season as well. Number 30, senior Jordan Gottsman comes in with an undefeated 11-0 record. The ERA is 3.04. He's got 1 complete game. This will be start number 14 for Gottsman. Batter's hitting just .209 against. We'll run down some more of his numbers as we go on. The defense on the right side at first base, it'll be Danny McDougall. The second baseman is Dylan Pacheco. Shortstop is sophomore TJ Laponis. Third baseman Robbie Lakowski. In the outfield in left, you've got Nicholas Notarangelo. In center field, it's Brendan Walsh. Joey Framatino is the right fielder for Endicott. Their designated hitter is Brendan O'Neill. The lineup for Lynchburg is a familiar one. Leading off, sophomore Brandon Garcia. Following him up, his high school teammate, number 21, Ben Jones, playing second base. The junior transfer, Quinn Madden, plays right field and bats third. Catcher, sophomore Sean Pokerock in the cleanup hole. Eric Hyatt playing first, hitting fifth. Gavin Collins in his usual sixth spot, playing the hot corner. It's the freshman Joe Munitz DHing, hitting seventh. Eddie Gimbel, senior, will be in left field, batting eighth. And O'Kelly McWilliams, the fourth. The fifth-year man. He's the fourth, but he's a fifth-year man for Lynchburg and a transfer as well. He will round out the order as we are about to get underway. And we're going to get our little score bug going here as well. The umpire has told the right fielder for Endicott to close a gate that was left open in foul territory. It is a minor league ballpark, natural grass and dirt field here. 320 down the lines, listed as 400 in center. Power alleys are 360 to 370. Breaking ball for a first pitch, and we are underway here in Division III National Championship baseball action. It's brought to you by Chiniga, M-I-O-S. Can't wait to tell you more about them. There's strike one as Gottsman evens up the count. He's a hard-throwing left-handed senior from Acton, Mass., and he's facing the sophomore Brandon Garcia. He'll study a pitch on the outer third. It's a called strike, and now a 1-2 count. Third baseman was playing in, guarding against a base hit bunt, and will now back up a tad. Here's the pitch. Garcia out in front of this, slaps it foul, and the count will remain 1-2. We're in the top of the first inning. Lynchburg is the visitors. They are the 8th seed, and you hear a lot from Lynchburg players about maybe a little chip on their shoulder because of that. Maybe a little motivating factor. Garcia gets a piece of this ball, sends it to center field. It will hang up long enough for the catch to be made in center by Brendan Walsh. So there's one gone here in the top of the first inning. But back to that seeding really quick. Lynchburg, you have some guys who are using that as motivation. The fact that they were selected as the 8th seed. You have some guys that are motivated no matter what. They don't need extra motivation. But for some players, you never know. It can help, as Ben Jones will take a called strike one. Ben Jones did square around and show a bunt, but pulled it back rather quickly. Gottsman working on the third base side of the rubber. Tall, lanky left-hander. Fires one up and away that Jones waves at. Comes up empty, and now the count is 0-2. Ben Jones will bounce one to the right side. Tough play for the first baseman. Gottsman getting over to cover. Jones nearly beat him to the bag, but he's out by a step. 2 down there on a nice play by Danny McDougal. Talented first baseman for Endicott. Really showed some nice range going in the hole to get that chopper from Ben Jones. And then the on-target feed to the covering pitcher, Jordan Gottsman. It'll bring up Quinn Madden. Junior had an incredible March. March was really his money-making month when you look at the stats for Quinn Madden. I think he drove in 36. He had 35-plus hits in the month of March. And Quinn Madden's been really solid the rest of the season, as he'll watch strike one go across at the belt line, 0-1 count. Quinn Madden wasn't bad in April and May. Madden's under this one, pulled to the left side in the gap, but the center fielder is there with the range to snag that ball out of the sky. It's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Lynchburg. We are underway here. Game 2 of the tournament, but game 1 for Endicott and Lynchburg, and the Hornets go quietly in the top of the first. We'll see the Gulls offense here in just a second. It's a special audio-only presentation from the 2024 Division III Baseball Championships in East Lake, Ohio, brought to you on LHSN by Chiniga, M-I-O-S.
Chaniga, MIOS, is proud to support Lynchburg baseball. Like a family, they support each other in every way and with every win. Join a workplace where teamwork and family values shine. Find your future at MIOScareers.com. That's MIOScareers.com. LHSN would like to thank Chaniga for their support, and we thank you for listening. We are about to get the bottom of the first inning cranked up here. Lynchburg went 3 up, 3 down in their half of the opening frame. Fly out to center by Brandon Garcia. Ben Jones bounced out to the first baseman. Then Quentin Madden hit a ball fairly hard in the gap, but the center fielder, Brendan Walsh, made the play. For Lynchburg defensively, familiar configuration there. Sean Pokerock will be catching Wes Arrington. We'll talk about the sheriff here some more in just a moment. At first base, you'll have Eric Hyatt. The high school Batman and Robin Cape Crusader duo is up the middle. Of course, it's Ben Jones at second, Brandon Garcia at short. Senior Gavin Collins, he's played in, we think, almost 50 career playoff games. Gavin Collins is playing the hot corner for Lynchburg. In left field, it's Eddie Gimble. In center, you have O'Kelly McWilliams IV. And in right field, Quinn Madden. Lineup for Endicott will be Joey Framartino, the right fielder, leading off, followed up by Dylan Pacheco, Nicholas Notarangelo. Cleanup man is Danny McDougal. 5-hole hitters Brendan O'Neill. TJ Laponis, the shortstop, sophomore, bats 6th. Robbie Ledkowski playing 3rd, hitting 7th. John Mulready is the catcher. Brendan Walsh, center fielder, batting 9th. It looks to be 5 seniors in the batting order here to go along with the senior starter on the mound, John Gottsman. So it is an experienced lineup for Endicott. Lynchburg has experience, but not a lot of seniors. You think about guys like Brandon Garcia, Ben Jones, and Sean Pokerock. They're hitting 1, 2, and 4 in a batting order, and they played a lot in the postseason run last year. I mean, Jones and Garcia started every game. Sean Pokerock, most of them. Jumping grab by Gavin Collins. Throws off the back foot and gets the leadoff man, Framartino. That was an outstanding play right there. It's just 1 out now in the bottom of the first inning. That was the second pitch swing from Joey Framartino. Just while we're going through the particulars of the lineups, Gavin Collins had to leap and catch a high hop. Then he just planted the back foot, the right foot, and just threw a bazooka across the diamond. Perfect strike to Eric Hyatt at first. There's 1 down in the bottom of the first inning. How about that? Good play already. Wesley Arrington tried a slider and missed. The count is 1-0 to Dylan Pacheco, second baseman senior from Dartmouth, Massachusetts. Pacheco comes in hitting .338 on the season. Endicott's got great numbers as a team. As a squad, they score over 9 runs per game. 9.13. Lynchburg averaging 8.16. It's a 2-0 count here for Wesley Arrington as he misses the zone with a fastball that time. Arrington set at the belt, looks over the front shoulder, ready to deal to Pacheco. Pacheco sprays this one into right field. There's your first base hit of the game, as Dylan Pacheco was on that one, and now he is on board. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Endicott, the home team, they are 46-2 on the season, and they were number 1 in the final rankings. They are the number 1 seed in this NCAA D3 baseball championship. Endicott is also undefeated in postseason play. 8-0. They beat Johns Hopkins in their regional 7-5 and 5-2. That 7-5 game was a comeback win. Lynchburg fans remember the Hopkins Blue Jays, the team that Lynchburg had to beat in the championship series last year. But it's the Endicott Gulls, thought to be the best team in the nation, at least by the resume and by the record. Wesley Arrington has thrown over to first a couple times to keep an eye on Dylan Pacheco. Pacheco is 14 of 19 in the stolen base department this year. That's one thing that Endicott does well. The Gulls really do everything well. They run the bases. They've stolen 127. They steal at an 88% clip. Called strike 1 there as Arrington comes across the mid-thigh area with a hard, lively fastball. For Arrington, the fastball is in the low 90s. Gotten up to 94 a couple times this season, but pitches right around 90, 91, 92. Very effective with the breaking ball. And when he's at his best, it really is the hard fastball. Sometimes that'll be a 4-seamer. Then he goes with the 2-seamer that has the sinking action into a right-hander. The hitter is a lefty, by the way. It's Nicholas Notarangelo. Stands in with an 0-1 count, 1 out, runner on first. Hyatt holds the runner. Runner will take off. Good poke a rock throw there. Nice exchange. He got it to Brandon Garcia in a hurry, but that is a stolen base for Dylan Pacheco as he slides into second with the head first dive. Pitch was called a ball. It's a 1-1 count. Sean Pokerock, mixed success throwing out runners this season. Even your great catchers are really only going to get runners at a 30 to 40% rate. Pokerock has gotten a few in the playoffs here, though. Here's the 1-1 from Arrington. This ball swung on, bounced to Brandon Garcia. He'll throw to third to get the runner there, and they got Pacheco. Slid in feet first, but Gavin Collins caught it. Nice calm tag right there. A little bit of a base running boo-boo maybe by Dylan Pacheco. Ball was right at him, and he clearly thought he had enough speed and time to advance. Brandon Garcia fielded in the textbook position with 2 hands out in front and then quickly whipped it over to Gavin Collins at third. So there's 2 outs. That one will go in the books as a 6-5 fielder's choice. Typical Brandon Garcia Hollywood stuff. He's going to find a way to make an impact. He does it with the bat. He does it with the glove. If he can't do it with those things, he's just going to do it with his energy. He's a team leader. He's a spark plug, a real dynamo out there. And even just the way he exists in the universe is that way as well. Brandon Garcia is a lively guy. Kind of rubs off on you. Kind of contagious with his energy, his spirit. So much fun getting to know those things. And that's why you got to follow along on the Lynchburg social media, Instagram, Twitter/X, Facebook, and a lot of stuff is out there on YouTube. We appreciate you tuning in now. Arrington has missed the zone for back-to-back pitches again. It's a 2-0 count to Danny McDougal. Danny McDougal's a force. His numbers on the season, just .309, but get this, he's got 8 home runs, 13 doubles, and 47 steals. Kind of strange to see your stolen base leader hitting in the middle of the lineup, but it works for Endicott. Danny McDougal's got that kind of leadoff hitter package with the speed. He can slug it, he can bang it. The other eye-popping stat for McDougal is 42 base on balls to just 16 strikeouts. Nice job by Arrington to throw a dot and get one across. 2-1 count, McDougal laid off that. I mean, you know the guy has an elite eye if he's walked 42 times to only 16 strikeouts. It's just almost unheard of to have that kind of a ratio as a hitter. 2-1 pitch coming up with 2 outs. Runner at first is Nicholas Notarangelo. He'll get back to first on a dive after a Wesley Arrington pickoff attempt. Lynchburg always has the commitment to keeping runners close. There has been 1 stolen base already in the game for Endicott. But Wes Arrington's going to do his part to try to give the catcher, Sean Pokerock, a chance to throw somebody out. 2-1 is perfect. Bullseye there on the outside corner for Wes Arrington. Count is even up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. We've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Pacheco got a hit, stole second, was thrown out at third by Brandon Garcia. Notarangelo's on first. He bounced that ball to Garcia. Here's the 2-2. Slider, and he got him swinging. Big punch out there. I said it was tough to strike out Danny McDougal. Well, the Sheriff Wesley Arrington did just that. Not quite a 3-up, 3-down inning for Lynchburg. Endicott did get a runner in scoring position, but no problems for Wesley Arrington as he strides back to the dugout feeling good. We've got 1 complete under our belts. You are listening to NCAA National Championship Baseball on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network, brought to you by Chiniga MIOS. A short break there for you baseball fans as I want to run down some more of the info. There is a lot happening, and you need to try to follow along on the websites. Of course, lynchburgsports.com has you covered, and then you can get to the NCAA website for more info. But we're down to the final 8 here These teams all advanced by winning a super regional. Of course, you had to win a regional before that as well. We're in the upper bracket. We've already got one game under our belts. Misericordia beat Pomona Pitzer 6-3 in the first game this morning. So Misericordia awaits the winner of this. Loser will play Pomona Pitzer with their season on the line at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. It is, again, a double elimination format until you get to that championship series. So you got to win your 4-team bracket. It's almost like back to the regional play again there. And the schedule is 10 a.m. tomorrow for that game 1 as Sean Pokerock looks at a first pitch strike from Jordan Gottsman. That'll be ball 1 low to Sean Pokerock. But, yeah, you got the 10 a.m. game tomorrow between Pomona Pitzer and the loser of this one. Pokerock will watch this one go in upstairs for ball 2. The winner will take on Misericordia at 1:15. And then you fast forward to Sunday, the loser of that second game as Pokerock fouls the ball off himself. That stung, that hurt. I think it was the inner thigh or inner calf muscle there for Sean Pokerock. He's okay, but the umpire will give him some time to compose himself. Now, there's nobody out here in the top of the second. I'm trying to work the score bug myself if you haven't figured that out yet, but we'll get it going. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're in the top of the second. Good, and the bases got cleared there. Fastball is ball 3 to Sean Pokerock. But we'll get back to that bracket in just a second as we got too much baseball going on here. That's a walk. Nice job by Sean Pokerock to get the first Lynchburg base runner. He's aboard with nobody out in the top of the second inning. Hornets with a batting order that, again, should be pretty familiar to Lynchburg fans. And I think you could end up seeing some changes that have been familiar. It might include Josh Jorman going to first base at some point for Lynchburg. Might include a pinch hit from the other catcher, Riley O'Donovan. Hate to say the other catcher because both guys have been used pretty equally. That's Pokerock and O'Donovan. First pitch called, strike on the outer black there to Eric Hyatt. Ethan Morotsky in left field could be an option. And then, of course, bullpen options abound as well. Lately, Wes Arrington has not needed much bullpen support. That's been his usual postseason routine, hasn't it? Wes Arrington lately has been just off the charts good for Lynchburg. We'll run those down when he gets back out there. It's a scoreboard says 1-1 count. I thought it was, yeah, it is a called strike there on a breaking ball inside that Hyatt laid off of. So 1-2 count. Umpire just confirmed that. 1-2 count to Eric Hyatt, junior from Woodbridge. Has a 13-game on-base streak. He's reached base at least once in the last 13 consecutive ball games. Here's the 1-2. Hyatt spins on that and fouls it past the third base coach, Oscar Garcia. Runner at first is Sean Pokerock. Does run well. Reached via the walk. Lynchburg third in the country in walks as a team. And guess what? The Endicott Gulls are first in the country in walks as a team. Endicott really does everything well when you look at the stats. And when you have a 46-2 record, that makes sense. Some people would say competition is a factor, and competition is always a factor. Breaking ball high there on Eric Hyatt. Nice eyeball there by number 5 for Lynchburg. Competition is always a factor, and we know the Old Dominion Athletic Conference is ultra tough. Gottsman set below the belt here. 2-2 delivery on the way. Hyatt sprays this down the right field line. That's going to drop. Pokerock around second. It's a long run for the right fielder. Stop sign is up at third for Sean Pokerock. Eric Hyatt cruising into second with a stand-up double. First hit of the ball game for Lynchburg is another 2-strike Eric Hyatt knock. He is so good at that. So good with 2 strikes. It's a double for Eric Hyatt. On the season, it'll be double number 8 for him. It's runners at second and third now for Lynchburg. Biggest threat of the ball game by far is right now in the top of the second inning. Gottsman to the windup to Gavin Collins. That ball is up and away for ball 1. Yeah, it's happening right now for Lynchburg. Hornets trying to sting early. 1-0 delivery on the way to Gavin Collins. He waits, red batting gloves. Senior has 198 hits in his career. 199 would put Lynchburg up at least 1 and maybe 2. Fouls one away, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Defense is back except for the first baseman for Endicott. First baseman's in on the grass. Here's the 1-1 to Collins. Fouls that away to the right side. Jordan Gottsman is a hard-throwing left-hander. It's enough velocity to bother you. I don't know that it's quite overpowering velocity, although the strikeout numbers would disagree with my statement there. Operating out of the windup, here's the 1-2 to Gavin Collins. He'll foul another one away in basically the same spot. Joe Munitz, first-year man for Lynchburg, waits on deck. So third, short, and second are all back for Endicott. First baseman even with the bag or even a few steps closer. Outfield straight away, normal depth. Gavin Collins will get a piece of that one and stay alive. A long at bat here for Gavin Collins. He's taking some really healthy hacks, too. He always does, Gavin Collins. He seems to get the A swing off as much as anybody, and more than most people. Gavin Collins in his fourth year as a starter for the Lynchburg Hornets. Battle tested for sure. This ball's in. It got away from the catcher. Lynchburg's going to score. Sean Pokerock waltzing home for the first run of the ball game, and Lynchburg has the first lead of the game. Gavin Collins went to first. I think Gavin Collins thought he got hit by the ball. A hit by pitch would take the run off the boards. Let's wait and see what happened here. Umpires are going to get together, and this is a good time to point out, baseball fans, that coaches do have the option of a coach's review. You can use the instant replay at this stage here. 2024 NCAA Division III Baseball Championships. NCAA does not actually prefer the term College World Series. They reserve that for the D1s. All right, so an update. No run is scored. It was a hit by pitch. Gavin Collins had that ball bounce off of him, and that was part of the reason why the catcher, John Mulready, could not control that one as it bounced to the backstop. So here's Joe Munitz. Bases loaded with nobody out. Joe Munitz wants the first, and he fouls it away over top of his dugout. Lynchburg is in the third base dugout, wearing the road grays today. Endicott in the first base dugout, wearing the home white on white. 0-1 on the way to Joe Munitz. Check swing. Did he go? Third base umpire says he did not. It's a 1-1 count. Nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Hornets have the sacks packed. Gottsman out of the windup. Low for ball 2 to Joe Munitz. Munitz throws the hand up to make sure Sean Pokerock did not try and advance. Good stop by the catcher, John Mulready. Minor league park, so it's a deep backstop, probably a full 50 or 60 feet from home plate to that back wall. Got to be really buttoned up as a catcher. 2-1 off-speed pitch is a called strike. Munitz didn't show any indication that he wanted to bother swinging at that one. He'll hit with 2 strikes, though, and nobody out. Base is loaded. Third baseman is in now for Endicott. First baseman is back. Middle double play depth. Munitz out front. Bangs this one to first. Fair ball, and it got by the first baseman. Bounced off the mitt. Lynchburg scores 1. Now Eric Hyatt will cruise in for the second. Speedy base running by Joe Munitz as he'll get all the way to second on that one. Lynchburg has scored. The Hornets are on top 2-0. The early sting from Lynchburg in the form of a bouncing ball to first base that was mishandled, that will be ruled an E3. That is an error on the first baseman, Danny McDougal. It was not the easiest of plays on a ball that went over the bag to his glove side. If you ask Danny McDougal, he'll tell you he should have caught that ball and gotten at least 1 out. Lynchburg was going to score a run, but the fact that it went into the outfield made it even worse because Lynchburg scores 2, and it's still 2 in scoring position for the Hornets. There is a mound conference going on right now. So Lynchburg has scored 2 in the top of the second inning. Lynchburg has had some late explosions in this playoff run, but this Hornet squad still very capable of early explosions too, and it could be coming right here. Eddie Gimbel is the senior left fielder. He'll step in with runners on second and third and nobody out. Hornets have still got the Gulls back to the ropes right here. You got to try to go for a knockout shot in this situation, don't you? The 0-0 to Eddie Gimbel is a lively, hard fastball, middle, called strike 1. Eddie Gimbel is a guy thrust into the starting lineup due to an injury to Logan Webster. Gimbel attacked a high fastball and came up empty, 0-2 count. Wishing Logan Webster the best. Hope he might be listening now or after the fact. The game will stay on YouTube and you can listen to it whenever. Here comes the 0-2 from Gottsman. Out of the windup again. Inside it hit Eddie Gimbel. Gottsman has hit 2 batters. Gavin Collins was the first one. Eddie Gimbel the second. The inning has gone like this for Lynchburg. Polkarock walked. Really good at bat, too, by the way. Eric Hyatt doubled down the right field line on a 2-strike pitch. Collins got hit. Joe Munitz had the ball he put in play that became an error by the first baseman, and then another hit by pitch right there. Eddie Gimbel wearing that one on the left elbow. Bases are loaded again for O'Kelly McWilliams. Corners are in. Middle is back. Fastball inside corner for strike 1. This is the big inning, though. This could be the big inning. It's just a 2-run inning. If you're Endicott, if you can get out only giving up 2 runs, that feels like a more than a small win. O'Kelly McWilliams hacked at a high heater. That's strike 2. Lynchburg, we know, will use the hit by pitch. We know that is part of Lynchburg's offensive program. They take the walks. They get hit by pitches. McWilliams out front of an off-speed pitch, pulls it foul. Still an 0-2 count. For Lynchburg on the season now, factoring those 2, they've been hit 88 times. This is game 51 for Lynchburg. It's game 49 for the Endicott Gulls. Here comes another 0-2. McWilliams out in front, swings through that, and it's strike 3. Finally an out for Endicott. They faced 5 hitters in this top of the second without getting one. Looked like an off-speed pitch down that struck out O'Kelly McWilliams. It'll bring up Brandon Garcia. Second time facing Jordan Gottsman. Garcia's 0 for 1. Flew out to center his first at bat. Defense has him played to pull. Garcia shoots one hard up the middle. More runs for Lynchburg. Could have a play at the plate. Throw coming in. Joe Munitz is safe for the feet first slide, and Lynchburg is stinging early. It's a 4-run inning for the Hornets. Brandon Garcia saw the first pitch he liked and jumped all over it, slashing it right up the middle for a 2 RBI single. Runners on first and second now for Lynchburg. And the hits could keep coming because this is Ben Jones. This is Benny Bombs right here. This is the situation this kid lives for. Ben Jones has put together a really good postseason so far. Really good's an understatement. Got to try to run down some of those numbers for you. Ben Jones showing the base hit bunt. Oh, Gimbel almost got picked at second. He'll slide into third. He's out there. Interesting play. Ben Jones showed a bunt, pulled it back. Eddie Gimbel kind of got caught in between second and third. Went into third with a feet first slide after the shortstop grabbed the ball on the throw from the catcher and then threw to third. It looks like Coach Oscar Garcia at third base has indicated he would like to use a review. Oscar Garcia is the third base coach, and he had a pretty good vantage point on that play. Did not take OG long to signal, let's use a review right here because I think Eddie Gimbel might have been safe on a feet first slide. Now this is one where as a coach, your heart is really sinking right now because you think you saw that your guy was safe, and you're hoping that the video evidence confirms that. The situation would be runners on second and third if the call is overturned. Brandon Garcia did advance on the throw. If the call stands, you're going to have a runner on second with 2 outs. And this will give me some time to tell you about Ben Jones. Hitting .375 in his last 10 games. That is the unblemished, undefeated 10-0 postseason run for Lynchburg. The on-base percentage is over .550. So he's got 12 hits in those 10 games, 7 walks, and 6 hit by pitch for Ben Jones. Another guy he will use every resource available to him to get on base, including that base hit bunt there that Ben Jones flashed. Ben Jones has driven in just 6, but he's scored 9 times in those 10 games. Last year, if you remember, Ben Jones hit .314. He slugged over .600. That was on 25 extra base hits last year for the guy that we named Benny Bombs. 9 home runs last season, and some big ones, including in that winner-take-all game last year, Game 3 of the National Championship Series against Johns Hopkins. I got to ask Ben Jones one time, hey, is the nickname Benny Bombs, is that too much weight on your shoulders? Is that too much pressure to leave the yard? He said, no, I'm cool with it. I like hitting home runs, and I'm a complete hitter as well. That's what Ben Jones told us in a little pregame interview. Ben Jones is having a chat with the home plate umpire right now as the crew chief and the third base umpire go over to do the video replay. think the term instant replay has actually fallen out of favor lately because it's not quite instantaneous, as you know, sports fans. Sometimes these replays can take a while. I would say this one here is going on about 3 minutes, maybe. Just a rough estimation. Give me time to reset the scene here for you. Lynchburg started the inning with the 4-hole hitter Sean Pokerock. He walked. Eric Hyatt doubled down the right field line on a 2-strike pitch. That put runners on second and third for Lynchburg. Gavin Collins got hit by a pitch on a ball we weren't sure if it was in play, if it hit Gavin or not, but it did. That loaded the bases. Error at first base on a ball that Joe Munitz pulled down the first base line. That scored 2. Eddie Gimbel was hit by a pitch. That loads the bases again. O'Kelly McWilliams struck out. Then Brandon Garcia steps up to hit the first pitch. The call has been confirmed. Call has been confirmed. So the runner, Eddie Gimbel, is out at third. He was trying to advance on just a ball that Ben Jones showed bunt and pulled it back on. Don't know if that was the play or not. Don't know if that was by design or Eddie Gimbel kind of just got caught leaning in a bad direction. Oh, they've actually appealed whether Ben Jones went around or not, and they've called that a strike. It's an 0-1 count. They said Ben Jones did try to bunt that ball. All right, 2 outs, runner on second. We're in the top of the second. It's a 4-run inning for Lynchburg, and Ben Jones could keep it going right here. Garcia bouncing off. Jones he did hold up on a breaking ball. That was a ball in the dirt. Umpire ruled that Ben Jones did not swing. Good block and scramble by John Mulready, the catcher for Endicott. I mentioned it's a deep backstop. You've got good wheels at second in the form of sophomore Brandon Garcia. His high school teammate Ben Jones might be trying to knock him in right here with a 1-1 pitch coming from Gottsman. Jones is out front. Ground ball to the second baseman should be routine. It is. Inning is over, but damage is done. Hornets strike first, and they strike hard. 4-0. Lynchburg leading after 1.5 here in Game 2 of the NCAA Division III Baseball Championships. It's Game 1 for Lynchburg and Endicott, and the Hornets lead early. The Hornets Road Show rolls on. The Vibes Train Express. That's the Vibes Train is the big theme. And good vibes, good vibrations, higher vibrations. That's what everybody's been talking about for Lynchburg coaches and players. Sean Pokerock seems to be the spiritual leader in that department, the vibes department. And that's another thing about Lynchburg. Pokey's just a sophomore, but he is as much of a leader as anybody. You got to say guys like Brandon Garcia and Ben Jones the same way. And this hitter stepping in, Quentin Madden, who fouls one straight back to the screen, really has been quite a leader as a junior transfer for Lynchburg. He's popped this ball up to the right side. There is a high sky and a tough sun today, but Danny McDougal will battle that to catch the pop out for the first out of the inning. Yeah, weather conditions here in Northeast Ohio, we could say perfect. The old school phrase for this was a Chamber of Commerce day. They called this perfect day. Yeah, it's 66 degrees. Humidity is 35%. Oh, Sean Pokerock blistering a first pitch right up the middle. Like the first one he saw from Jordan Gottsman. Pokerock has been on twice, walked to start that big second inning, and now a shot right back up the box there that scrambled Gottsman. He's okay, didn't hit him or anything. Went clean into the infield, or into the outfield rather. Lynchburg's got their third base hit of the game. And here comes Eric Hyatt, who doubled in his first at bat. Also back in the big second inning as Tim LaDuca comes in to give us technical and moral support, perhaps even more. Eric Hyatt, 0-1 count. Swings and misses at a disappearing off-speed pitch. Good one there from Gottsman. And it's an 0-2 count on the junior from Woodbridge, Eric Hyatt. Enters the game hitting just .297. But his value is through the roof, in my opinion, as his fastball from Gottsman goes upstairs, and it's a 1-2 count. Waiting on deck is Gavin Collins, who was hit in his first plate appearance. Gottsman set, now lifts the right leg, fires, ball in the dirt. Hyatt didn't sniff at that, and now it's a 2-2 count with one out. We're in the top of the third inning, Lynchburg leading 4-0. Gottsman looking in for the sign. Sean Pokerock leads off at first. Gottsman is a left-hander. Doesn't quite eliminate the running game, but might slow it down. Eric Hyatt swings at a low fastball and comes up empty. It's strike three. 2 outs now for Lynchburg in the top of the third. And it will bring up Gavin Collins. 198 hits in the career for this senior from Clifton, Virginia. Under the first pitch, floats it to right field. This ball will actually take the right fielder all the way back to the warning track. Gavin Collins hit it fairly deep, but the ball is caught for out number 3 of the inning. So another fairly quiet inning for Lynchburg, other than the Sean Pokerock base hit. He's left stranded at first, and Lynchburg's lead will stay at 4-0 over Endicott as we move to the bottom of the third inning on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network, brought to you by Chaniga, M-I-O-S. What's up, guy? You should get in. Kyle Hoehne and now my great friend Tim LaDuca, the athletic communications expert that he is, and he's an ultimate enthusiast. He's a man for all seasons, and now he's a running man as well as he trains for his, I keep saying marathon, an ultra marathon. I want to build it up, but now you're telling me it's just a half marathon, right, Tim?
Yeah, just 13 miles.
Yeah. No, but the training has gone well, right?
Yeah, it's going about as well as the first 3 innings for these Lynchburg Hornets, huh?
4-0 the 4 spot there in the second inning. I honestly felt like we saw that so much last season with those big innings. This year, it feels like those explosions have been coming late in postseason play for Lynchburg, 7th, 8th inning. But, hey, no time like the present, and it's got to feel good to get 4 under your belt, especially against a very, very good Endicott team.
Yeah, it's an All-American on the mound, and maybe that's postseason jitters, but it was a couple bad breaks for the Gulls there in that inning, and Lynchburg just took advantage of it. But going back to what you said, haven't really seen this brand of baseball from Lynchburg all year, but even last year in their championship run, it seemed like just the style of the game really changes when you're here on the biggest stage in the center of the country here with all the eyes on you, and they're playing well right now.
This ball hit hard up the middle. Ben Jones will move towards the bag, field out in front, straighten and throw to first for the initial out of the bottom of the 3rd inning. Nice play there by Jones. I mean, it's not a highlight reel play at all, but very, very smooth going up the middle and fielding the ball that was hit pretty well from catcher John Mulready. This will bring up first-year center fielder Brendan Walsh. Yeah, just talking about Lynchburg a little bit, because you watch people, you talk to people. Everybody plays good competition, but it's hard to discount how good the Old Dominion Athletic Conference is. And I would say the fact that 2 teams are here in East Lake with Lynchburg and Randolph-Macon is evidence of that. Lynchburg winning the national championship last year is evidence of that. So when you look at the Lynchburg record, they're playing a lot of great competition, not just in the ODAC. Some of the non-conference stuff was really heavy-duty as well with CNU and teams like Methodist and even York early in the year. I just think this Lynchburg team is battle-tested and ready, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. You think about how the start of their year laid out. They went 4-2 against some of the best teams in the country. Kind of a similar layout, kind of a feel of, postseason baseball, playing all those good teams all in one or two weekends.
Yeah, and another element to that, I think, maybe that we haven't even talked about as much is you get used to making these long trips and staying in a hotel and that kind of rhythm and that routine. Maybe that seems like an afterthought, but I think, when you're dealing with 18 to 23-year-olds, sometimes there is something to be learned from that, just that routine and that rhythm of figuring out, hey, what time do I have to get up and go eat breakfast? What's my routine going to be so I'm not rushed? How comfortable can I get not playing at home? I think that really helps too.
Yeah, and then the experience of being here before and knowing the schedule. The last 2 days are a whirlwind for these teams coming to play at the championship, and just knowing what's coming next, even because some of these teams, they don't even know what the next step is from hour to hour when you're making your first trip to the World Series like this. And Lynchburg they knew what to expect.
This ball's put in play. It was a really good at bat. Brandon Garcia moving up the middle. He'll snatch and throw. Nice play there by Hollywood. That was probably even a degree of difficulty higher than the one Ben Jones made to start the inning, but there's 2 outs. And we'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Joey Framartino. He bounced out to the third baseman. That was that nice play Gavin Collins made to open up the game on a high hopper. There's 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Framartino is a left-handed hitting senior from North Reading, Massachusetts. This Endicott squad, watch out. Framartino is going to stop that sentence in his tracks. He'll bash one into the right field wall on one hop. Quinn Madden got to it quickly. He'll throw to second. Actually a fairly close play. That's a testament to Madden's arm. He was very deep on the warning track when he picked that up. That's a sliding 2-out double there for Joey Framartino. Second time Endicott's gotten a runner in scoring position, Tim. That happened in the top of the 1st. Lynchburg pitched around that. See if Wesley Arrington can do the same here.
And a little bit of bad base running into an out at third base on a ball hit in front of you. You'd like to see that one get fielded and played to first, but Brandon Garcia made a good play in that 1st inning and cut down the runner at third base.
Yeah, the runner in question in that 1st inning was the man in the batter's box right now. Dylan Pacheco steps in. He's 1 for 1, hitting with runner on second and 2 outs. There's the really good slider from Wesley Arrington. Misses the plate, though. I've thought that the umpire zones in postseason play have been noticeably smaller than regular season played. And maybe that, again, speaks to just how awesome Wesley Arrington has been, that those zones have been no problem. He'll come back with a hard fastball for a called strike 1. 1-1 count, 2 outs, runner on second. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Lynchburg leads 4-0. But the Gulls threatening with their 2-hole hitter, Dylan Pacheco, up. He'll swing at a slider, bounces to Gavin Collins. On the move towards the third base bag. Strong throw and a good stretch from Eric Hyatt at first. That will bring an end to the inning. So the Gulls do get one runner on the double, but that runner left stranded at second base. Lynchburg on top through 3 complete here. 2024 Division III Baseball Championship from East Lake. You're listening on LHSN. It's brought to you by Chiniga, MIOS. We come back for the top of the 4th inning. It's Endicott and Lynchburg. The Hornets on top, 4-0 at the moment. All 4 runs coming in the 2nd inning. It's donuts for everybody else other than that. Joe Munitz will offer up a base hit bunt and then pull it back. It's called strike 1. Munitz hit the ball to the first baseman. That was misplayed. It allowed Lynchburg to score 2. Munitz moved up to second. He later scored on the Brandon Garcia single, Tim. That's one, you know, for the first baseman, McDougal, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint that as being the pressure as Munitz will swing and be struck out on a hard fastball. First out there of the top of the 4th inning. But, I mean, how much do you put that on the pressure of the moment there for the first baseman, McDougal? Or do you think it's just one of those things that it happens in baseball regardless of the moment?
I think, especially because you can attribute to the fact that as this one's laced up the middle, but a nice fielding play there by the shortstop, guns out Gimbel for the 2nd out of the inning. But what I was going to say is, you know, just take your eye off the ball over there at first base as you're anticipating making that difficult play on the J-drill with the pitcher as he's running up the line in a foot race with Munitz. So it wasn't a purely, you know, just pressure of the moment type of thing. It's not an easy play to take from point A to point Z, I guess.
Yeah, good phrasing there by you on the point A to point Z. And those
A to J.
Yeah, good. I like it. I like that too. It's a 2-0 count here on O'Kelly McWilliams, the 4th. The top of the 4th inning. Lynchburg leading 4-0. There's a fastball for a strike. But yeah, just back to the play. Those other runners in there, I think, have an element to that as well. If there's nobody on base, I think Danny McDougal's going to look that ball in a little bit more cleanly. He's going to take his time. With the other runners on, you might be kind of scanning, seeing, hey, where do I have a play at? Who broke late? You know, those kinds of things. As it's a 2-2 count now with 2 outs. The pitch from Gottsman. Oh, O'Kelly McWilliams down the line. It's rip and run time for IV. He's making the turn around first. The Lynchburg bullpen has to scatter out of the way. O'Kelly McWilliams is thinking about 3. He got a full 10 steps off the second base bag, but then he holds up. That's a 2-out double for O'Kelly McWilliams. Now Lynchburg might be in business again here. Another 2-strike double. Eric Hyatt had one of those as well. We know Lynchburg's 2-strike hitting approach is so sound, Tim. But when you can do it against an All-American, too, and Jordan Gottsman, I mean, this is ultra impressive. Lynchburg has been doing this the entire postseason against good pitching. And really good pitching is probably an understatement for some of the guys that Lynchburg's been facing, Tim.
Yeah, and I think if O'Kelly McWilliams committed to it all the way, he was about 50-50, could have ended up on third, but that's one of those examples where you don't want to make the third out at third base. But in my book, you don't want to make any out anywhere. So,
No, and it makes sense, too, when you've got O'Kelly McWilliams' speed. You know you're probably going to score on any base hit from this man, Brandon Garcia. Garcia watches one just under the knee come in for a called strike. It's an 0-1 count. Hollywood is 1 for 2 with 2 RBI. That happened in the 4th inning. He's going to hit out of an 0-2 hole right now as that one nibbled the outside edge. Runner at second is O'Kelly McWilliams, the 4th. Ben Jones waiting on deck. We're in the top of the 4th inning. 4-0, the Lynchburg lead. Brandon Garcia looking to do more damage. Here's the 0-2. Garcia flares that one foul. But I don't disagree with your thoughts about base running. I mean, never a great idea to make an out on the bases. I guess some things fall into that calculated risk category. Gottsman is set, checks the runner. McWilliams taken off. Brandon Garcia swinging. Another foul ball. Was not a great jump by O'Kelly McWilliams, but not going to matter here as Brandon Garcia sprays another one into the stands.
I think the calculated risk goes back to McDougal at first base. Having to make calculations in your head is a huge ask when there's so much going on. And, you know, bases loaded. It's just so impressive what these athletes are able to accomplish. Such high pressure, so much to ask of these kids.
Another 0-2 to Brandon Garcia up the middle. This is going to be a tough play. Second baseman snatches. Throw is high. First baseman pulled off. O'Kelly McWilliams will score. IV was hustling the entire way. So was Brandon Garcia. Really rolling down the line there on a ball that went up the middle. Second baseman Dylan Pacheco got to it, threw it across his body, but the throw was high. Danny McDougal had to leap. He caught the ball, but couldn't get back to the bag in time. Looks to me like it's going to be an infield hit and another RBI for Brandon Garcia. He's got 3 of the 5 now, and Lynchburg does lead 5-0.
Garcia had a slow regional tournament. Turned it on at the end there against Case Western Reserve in the last game and had a good super regional. And now the fruits of his labor and just persevering through a little bit of a slump at an unfortunate time of the season. And he looks like he's pulled through.
Garcia's gotten picked off. He's going to try to beat the throw to second. He will not. Couldn't get around the tag either. Good sportsmanship there as the shortstop TJ Laponis will check on Hollywood and see if he wanted a hand up. But that will be the final out of an inning of the top of the 4th inning. But it's a run-scoring inning for Lynchburg. Hornets on top 5-0 now, moving to the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, I just wanted to come in and check on you here, Kyle. So take it the rest of the way. I'll get out of here for you.
No, let's hang out. It's up to you. I know you've got other things to do. Tim is not just waiting around seeing if I need support. He's doing so much here, as is the rest of the LHSN team. The boots on the ground are impressive for LHSN. Yeah,
we got everybody here. It's been a lot of fun. Glad to share this experience with my coworkers and my friends. So I'm going to get out of your hair, but really fun checking in on you. And maybe I'll be back on today, but certainly in another game.
Perfect. Can't wait. Bottom of the 4th is coming up here on LHSN, brought to you by Chiniga, MIOS. Okay, we're set to start the bottom of the 4th inning. The hitter will be the 3-hole man, senior Nicholas Notarangelo. Third baseman Gavin Collins slides in. It's ball 1 from the 5th-year man, Wesley Arrington, the sheriff, number 45 for Lynchburg. His squad is in front, 5-0. And the top of the 4th inning was another good one for the Hornets. Brandon Garcia had the infield single. That came after the O'Kelly McWilliams double down the left field line. Another 2-strike double for Lynchburg. This one's down the left field line, but floating foul from Notarangelo. And our count should be 2-1. Nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Let's change that over. But for Lynchburg in the fourth, it was 1 run on 2 hits. None left stranded because Brandon Garcia got picked off trying to steal. Lynchburg has 5 runs, 4 hits. Hornets have been hit twice. They've taken 1 walk. Here's a ball put in play, right center gap. Quentin Madden will glide over and make an easy grab for the first out of the bottom of the 4th inning. It will bring up the first baseman, Danny McDougal. McDougal's a right-handed hitter, struck out in his first at bat. One of 3 Wesley Arrington strikeout victims. Endicott has no runs on 2 hits. Gulls have made 2 errors, by the way. Yeah, actually, I need to make a correction, fans. Just as I look at the scoreboard, they ruled that Brandon Garcia ball up the middle as an error. It was a high throw, and the throw did pull this first baseman, Danny McDougal, who's now hitting with a 1-0 count, did pull him off the bag in the air. He caught the ball but couldn't get his feet back to the sack in time to get Brandon Garcia out. McDougal will swing on this. This ball's popped up, will not stay in the confines, though. And now the count is 1-1. There is 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. So for Lynchburg, yeah, it's 5 runs on 4 hits. There's 2 Endicott errors. Lynchburg has gotten hit twice, and they've taken 1 walk. Hornets have, by my count, only left 1 runner on base, and that's 1 in scoring position. Here's a pop-up to shallow right center field. Ben Jones holding the glove up to battle the sun. He'll jog towards the right field line and make the catch for out number 2 of the inning. It'll bring up the DH, Brendan O'Neill. You know, it's an interesting Endicott lineup and roster. Most of the guys are from the New England area, Massachusetts, Maine, a few Connecticut, and I think 1 or 2 Rhode Island on there. But Brendan O'Neill is from Ponte Vedra, Florida, so he's a Florida guy playing his baseball at Endicott College in the Boston area. The boys from Boston are down 5-0 right now. It's an 0-1 count as Wes Arrington gets strike 1 with that hard fastball. Here comes the 0-1 from the right-handed 5th-year man from Keswick, Virginia, just outside Charlottesville. Now it's 0-2. Looked like the slider that time. Lynchburg defense, infield back all the way around. Outfield has O'Neill played to pull. That means the center fielder, O'Kelly McWilliams, is in the right center gap, or shaded that way anyway. Slider is low, and now our count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is game 2 of the tournament, game 2 of the day. Salve Regina playing Birmingham Southern in game 3, and then it's Randolph-Macon and Wisconsin Whitewater in the nightcap. Here comes the 1-2 from Arrington. Sprayed foul by Brendan O'Neill. O'Neill was a strikeout victim in his last at-bat. That was an at-bat that began the 2nd inning. We are in the bottom of the 4th. Endicott has 2 hits. They've left 2 runners stranded, 1 in scoring position. Here comes another 1-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Arrington kicks and deals. This ball's low and in the dirt. And now the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lynchburg will have 2, 3, 4 due up in their half of the 5th. That'll be Ben Jones hitting with a fresh count. He was in there when Brandon Garcia got picked off to end the 4th inning. Arrington looks over the sign. Now comes set at the midsection. Deep breath, pumps and fires. This one is wide left from our perspective, wide right from Arrington's, and it's ball 3. Pacheco and Framartino have the hits for Endicott. They bat leadoff and second, respectively. Nothing 3 through 9 in the order just yet for the Gulls. O'Neill waits on the full count pitch. Can't get the bat off his shoulder. Called strike 3. Pokerock bobbled the ball, but then scrambled out of the stance to tag out Brendan O'Neill. So it's another strikeout for the Sheriff. He's got 4 punch outs, and his team leads 5-0. Lynchburg on top after 4 complete. You're listening to NCAA National Championship Baseball on the Lynchburg Hornet Sports Network, brought to you by Chiniga, MIOS. Top 5 here at Classic Park in East Lake, Ohio, home to the Lake County Captains, a minor league affiliate of the Cleveland Guardians. Guardians are in town again this weekend, taking on the Nationals. We actually got to go to a Guardians game a couple weeks ago when we were just down the road at Case Western Reserve University. That's actually a Cleveland address. We are in East Lake, Ohio. Not too far, 30-minute drive or so from where we were at a couple weeks ago. And definitely you get the Northeast Ohio vibes. It's really fun out here. Vibes has been the key for Lynchburg in this postseason run. Undefeated at 10-0. Lynchburg on the season 35-15. Ben Jones took strike one, then swings at strike two and fouls it back. You've got Quinn Madden on deck. Ben Jones is 0 for 2, grounded out to first and second. Here's the 0-2. Jones will flare this down the left field line. This is a long run there, and this ball will drop. This ball is dropping in foul. The left fielder, Nicholas Notarangelo, stumbled over the bullpen mound. We actually saw that in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, with Lynchburg shortstop Brandon Garcia last season. Looks like Notarangelo is okay. And I'm not sure even if the mound's not there if he catches that foul ball. It was a long run. Notarangelo is really set up straight away in left field. Outfield is pretty much straight up against Ben Jones, sophomore second baseman for Lynchburg. Another 0-2. Jones shoots this to the infield. Shortstop Laponis will gather a throw, and the first baseman McDougal stayed on the bag there, despite the fact that the throw pulled him slightly to the outfield side. There's one out now in the top of the fifth. Lynchburg does lead 5-0. Quinn Madden's 0 for 2. Quinn Madden this season is the team leader in several categories. 68 hits, got the team lead there. 65 runners driven in, team lead in that category. Quinn Madden has 11 home runs. Also, you guessed it, team leader, and 14 doubles. Brandon Garcia not far behind with 12. Madden's got a 2-0 count as the first one nearly hit him. The second one from Jordan Gottsman was just low. Gottsman's quality, though, he's going to keep working even despite being in a 5-0 hole like the Gulls are. Gottsman is a perfect 11-0 on the season. You know he's not going to give up quickly. And it's interesting because without seeing a guy a lot, it's hard to know if this is Gottsman's A game or not. I mean, the fastballs have velocity. Looks like the breaking balls have got some swerve to them. Quinn Madden will pull one foul, and now the count is full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. But you just love to get inside the head of a competitor in this situation when you find yourself down. What could a guy like this be thinking? Gottsman's been really good in postseason play. He threw 6 innings against Johns Hopkins in the Super Regional, gave up 4 earned runs on 5 hits, struck out 8. Here's the full count to Quinn Madden. Madden bloops this into shallow right field. Second baseman going back. Second baseman still going back. He made a play on the run there. Nice job to stay with it by Dylan Pacheco. He got fairly deep out there in right field. I'm sure he was probably wondering, hey, where's the center fielder and the right fielder at? But Pacheco stays with it and makes the grab. 2 outs now in the top of the fifth. I know the outfield was probably played slightly deeper on Quinn Madden in respect to those power numbers that we rattled off for you. Sean Pokerock watches a chin-high fastball. And the count is 1-0. Pokerock's been on twice, walk and a single. There's an inside fastball. Pokerock studies, and it's a 1-1 count. 2 outs here in the top of the fifth. Eric Hyatt on deck. He's 1 for 2 with a double. The 1-1 breaking ball is low and away. But Jordan Gottsman, a win against Johns Hopkins. 6 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. Pokerock late on a fastball, and now the count is 2-2. And if you just look at his season, it's been, again, mind-boggling, really. 3.04 earned run average, 11-0. Batters hitting just 209 against this guy. Nearly hit Sean Pokerock. That's ball 3. Full count to Pokey. Sophomore from Dumfries. The Vibes train conductor, Sean Pokerock, waits on the payoff pitch. He'll slash this one through the hole between third base and shortstop. Really nice 2-strike hitting again from Lynchburg. Sean Pokerock is 2 for 2 with a walk. 5 hits now for the Hornets. This man got a 2-strike hit. It's Eric Hyatt checking in with a runner on first, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. Job is not finished, but you got to feel real good right now if you're a Lynchburg fan, don't you? Pokerock takes the lead. Eric Hyatt, fastball inside an upper rail there for a called strike 1. Infield, regular depth straight away. Outfield the same. Eric Hyatt leans into a second pitch. It's going to take the left fielder back. He can't catch it, and it bounces over. A ground rule double for Eric Hyatt. 2 doubles in the ball game now for Eric Hyatt. This man with a postseason track record that is proven has now got himself in scoring position. Sean Pokerock advances to third. I don't know that Pokey was going to score on that ball. A ball that the left fielder, Notarangelo, leaped for. Then it bounced once on the track and hopped up over the high wall here. Again, it's a minor league park, so the wall is kind of that 7-8 footer. Pinch runner in the game is Josh Jorman. So expect Josh Jorman to stay in the game and play first base and hit in the 5th spot for Eric Hyatt. What a day for Eric Hyatt. 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. Struck out in that middle at bat. It's really good stuff from Eric Hyatt. Gavin Collins checking in now with 2 in scoring position. His team already up 5-0. This could be a big nail right here for Gavin Collins. You know Endicott is not done yet, but this is a big moment, another big moment. We said that 2nd inning was key. Lynchburg made the most of those opportunities. They lead 5-0 right now. The 1-0 to Collins is high, and now it's a 2-0 count. Collins got hit in the head in super regional play. That one might have given him a little flashback there. See if Gavin Collins is all in right here. 2-0 coming up from Gottsman. That ball is also high. Now the count is 3-0. Could be a green light here for a guy like Gavin Collins. A seasoned campaigner. 4-year starter, Gavin Collins. He'll just watch that one. It's a called strike. And now the count is 3-1. Collins got to be sitting on green here, though, doesn't he? 292 on the season for Gavin Collins. He's driven in 30. 7 home runs, 9 doubles. Here comes the 3-1. Collins will study that one. That is a called strike. Looked to be just under the letters there. And now the count is full with 2 outs. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. Lynchburg leading 5-0. Big pitch right here from Jordan Gottsman, to say the least. Collins takes it, called strike 3. Lynchburg gets 2 on, but 2 left stranded in the top of the 5th. They still lead at 5-0 as we move to the bottom half of the inning here in East Lake, Ohio, Classic Park. We're bringing it to you on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network, brought to you by Chiniga MIOS. Shortstop TJ Laponis will lead off the bottom of the 5th for Endicott. the Gulls trailing by 5. These elite teams, I mean, Endicott's 46-2. They are elite. There's no doubt about that. Sometimes with these elite teams, though, they have such great seasons, they really don't have to play from behind very much. So sometimes, I don't know if you call it panic or unease starts to set in as Wesley Arrington dots the outer third of the strike zone for first pitch of the inning. And that one looked to be pretty good from Wes Arrington. Called a ball. Back to the zones, I think, in the playoffs have been probably tighter than not just Lynchburg, but all teams are accustomed to in the regular season. 1-1 coming up to the sophomore TJ Laponis. But if you're Endicott, you may not have been playing from behind a ton this season. I do know they had to come back in that 7-5 victory over Johns Hopkins in the Super Regional. I doubt that the panic button exists in the Endicott dugout. But there is something to be said for making a team get out of their comfort zone, and Lynchburg has certainly done that. Wes Arrington missed the zone there with a 2-strike fastball. And now the count is 2-2. Laponis is the only sophomore in the starting lineup. There is one freshman, center fielder Brendan Walsh. Here's the 2-2 from Arrington. This ball's pushed into right field. Quinn Madden is on the move and sliding to make the grab. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Quinn Madden, he and the other outfielders talk about hunting the ball, hunt the baseball. Madden did that. Yeah, he stalked that thing down and made a great grab. Another sliding grab for Quinn Madden. He seems to specialize in those. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Laponis hit that ball well. Back to there are some breaks in this game. There is some luck in this game. Lynchburg would tell you they make their own luck. Here's another line drive into center field. O'Kelly McWilliams will not get to that one. Robbie Ledkowski is on with a first pitch line drive. That is hit number 3 of the ball game for Endicott. Back-to-back balls, I think they hit right on the nose. Both of those balls went sort of the other way as well, although that one was a true knock into center field for Robbie Ledkowski. He becomes the 3rd Gull player to get a hit. Here's the catcher, John Mulready. Grounded out on a ball he hit fairly hard up the middle that Ben Jones made a good play on. First pitch from Arrington is low, ball 1. I think it was low anyway. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Lynchburg leads 5-0. Could be time for one of those patented Hornets double plays. Lynchburg has turned 36 this season. That equates to 0.72 per game. There's a slider called strike 1 from Arrington. I think Wes feels pretty good. Feels like he's in complete command. He was in high spirits at the hotel last night, as usual. 1-1 on the way to John Mulready. Here's the pitch from Arrington. Swing and a miss on a high heater. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mulready is the 8-hole hitter in the lineup. Lynchburg's going to have 7, 8, 9 due up in their half of the 6th inning. I mean, we're beyond the halfway point here. So back to there is work to do for Lynchburg, but they've got a lot of hay in the barn already. That's been one of the themes for Lynchburg coaching-wise, is telling the guys, look, we've put in so much hard work this season. The work is done. Now just go out and play and have fun. Don't put the extra pressure on yourselves, as Arrington looked like spiked the fastball, and now it's a 2-2 count. But winning is a pressure enough. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to perform well. I think some of these teams, they get into playoffs and they self-apply even more pressure. Whereas I don't think Lynchburg does that. Call it the experience from last year. Call it just the makeup and the mentality of the players they have. As Wesley Arrington will get strikeout number 5 of the game. John Mulready waved at a high fastball. And there are 2 outs now in the bottom of the 5th. Up steps that first-year man, Brendan Walsh, grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat. But yeah, Lynchburg mentally, they're so strong. Their makeup is so good. Call it, they got guys that are built for this, if you want to. They have proven playoff competitors. Ground ball that got by the diving Gavin Collins, but it's foul. Good effort there by one of those guys that has been in so many playoff wars, Gavin Collins. Gavin Collins, talk about grizzled. He's played in 51 career postseason games, Gavin Collins. 51 career postseason games. A lot of guys are lucky just to play in 51 career games. 24 of those games, by the way, are in NCAA regional, super regional, or national championship action for Gavin Collins. 0-1 count to Walsh. Oh, couldn't get it by Brandon Garcia. Yeah, Hollywood airborne to snag that one out of the sky. It was a looping line drive, but Brandon Garcia was there for the final out of the 5th inning. Lynchburg leads by 5 through 5. It's the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network, brought to you by Chiniga, MIOS. Well, Lynchburg's made a couple of those fine defensive plays, those defensive plays that fall into the really good category. They've got a couple highlight reel numbers as well. The most recent one, Brandon Garcia leaping to take a hit away from Brendan Walsh. Joe Munitz will slash at the first pitch and foul it away. It's an early 0-1 count. We've made it to the top of the 6th inning. Lynchburg leads by 5. The pitcher for Endicott, still their starter, senior Jordan Gottsman. This is always a knife edge for both teams, whether you're winning or losing, because you want to keep your bullpen in order for a potentially long tournament. You're guaranteed 2 games, as Joe Munitz will bang this one over the second baseman's head. Joe Munitz has got his first hit of the ball game. 7 hits for Lynchburg. They are proving just how quality their offense is. This is a team that, by the stats, does not blow you away when you compare them to the rest of the teams in the tournament. But Lynchburg has been facing that great quality competition. They seem to rise to the quality of their competition. Eddie Gimble will show the bunt. He'll get this one in play down the left side, and this is a good one. They will get Gimble by a step. Pitcher Jordan Gottsman came off the slope to field that well-placed bunt and get Eddie Gimble out at first. Successful sacrifice, though, as Lynchburg gets Joe Munitz into scoring position with 1 out. Here comes O'Kelly McWilliams IV, doubled in his last at-bat. But just quickly, back to the Lynchburg offense as a whole. They can beat great pitching. They can beat average pitching as well. But they seem to put their best swings on balls against the best pitching. Head first slide by Munitz. He's in safely, stealing third. Very close play there. It looks like Endicott wants to use the review. Yeah, the third baseman asking. The umpire has pointed at the pitcher. I'm trying to figure out the situation now. Oh, wow. They're going to send Munitz back to second. Did he call it no pitch? Did the umpire call time before all that happened? Munitz is just going to go back to second. The pitcher, Jordan Gottsman, delivered. The ball was high. Both coaches now are coming to talk about it. That would be Travis Beasley for Lynchburg and Brian Haley for Endicott. Umpire interference is the call. Umpire interference is the call. The catcher came up, caught the ball, and then bumped into the umpire on the throw. Still made a great throw, by the way. Joe Munitz was nearly hosed at third. Now, Brian Haley is indicating, I would like to use my coach's challenge and review this play. So that's an interesting one. That's one that's hard to describe on the radio. It's probably hard to describe even when you've got the visuals there, because you just don't know what is happening. If you got the umpire mic'd up, that helps. And of course in football, the official will come on the microphone and give you the explanation. They do that in basketball, where they go to the scorer's table. And they're starting to do that more in Major League Baseball, but not here at the NCAA Division III National Championship. Call it the D3 World Series if you want. We had one review earlier. Lynchburg reviewed Eddie Gimbel getting thrown out at third base. The call was confirmed. Gimbel was out. This is Joe Munitz sliding into third on a stolen base attempt. They have called it a 1-0 count. So that ball was high to O'Kelly McWilliams IV. The umpire initially called it umpire interference. They sent Joe Munitz back to second base. He was called safe at third. I think Endicott now is reviewing, was Munitz just out at third base? So it's an interesting setup here in the top of the 6th inning with 1 out. Eddie Gimbel sacrifice bunted Munitz to second. That's the only out of the inning. For Lynchburg, they went 3 up, 3 down in the first inning. They scored 4 in the second. That was on 2 hits. There were 2 hit batters in there and a walk as well for Lynchburg. Just the 1 free pass so far. That was Sean Pokerock who drew the walk there to begin the second inning. Jordan Gottsman has been really good. He surrendered 7 base hits to the Lynchburg offense. And I was in the midst of just talking about what high quality this offense is. The numbers just don't jump off the page for you for Lynchburg. Mentioned they do score 8.16 runs per game. Endicott scores 9.13 runs per game. Lynchburg has scored double-digit runs, that's 10 or more, 13 times this season. The Endicott Gulls have done that 20 times this season. Lynchburg swings it as a team at exactly 300, Endicott 310. Endicott's slugging and on-base percentage are higher. Endicott has more extra base hits. Lynchburg actually has more doubles. Lynchburg has 156 extra base hits. That's 99 doubles, 14 triples, 43 home runs. But Lynchburg has been playing great competition, and Lynchburg seems to play the best against great competition. That is a trait that has continued from last season. They talk about the togetherness of this team. They play for each other. They seem to play their best when the moments are the brightest, when the spotlight shines the brightest here on the national stage. All right, looks like the review is done. The umpires are going to jog out and give us a call. Joe Munitz has been ruled safe at third, but he will go back to second because of the umpire interference. So a strange one there, and it will be a review lost for Endicott. Now both teams have had a review not go their way. 1-0 count to O'Kelly McWilliams. We'll try to get back to baseball. We'll sink back into the fundamentals of radio baseball play-by-play. It really is a fine art. Gottsman set. Southpaw looks at the runner Munitz, now delivers to O'Kelly McWilliams. That ball's down and in, and it is a 2-0 count to IV, who doubled down the line in his last at-bat. A 2-strike double. Lynchburg's had a couple of those today. Eric Hyatt had one. Eric Hyatt has a pair of doubles. Check swing from IV, but I think just a called strike on the outer third, and now our count is 2-1. Back to those stats. Endicott has a nation-leading best ERA as a team. Gottsman will fire a fastball at second base there on a pickoff attempt, but Joe Munitz is back in plenty of time. Freshman Joe Munitz, designated hitter from Virginia Beach, has been on twice, 1 base hit, and he reached on the error by the first baseman, Danny McDougal. IV waits on the 2-1. He'll slash at it, pound it hard at the second baseman, who handles a tough 1 hop, and then a soft throw to first to get O'Kelly McWilliams in time for the second out of the inning. Joe Munitz does scramble to third on that one, so he stands 90 feet away. Let's update that. Yes, just a runner on third here, and a fresh count with 2 outs for the leadoff man, Brandon Garcia. Mound conference coming up for Jordan Gottsman. There has been another left-hander warming up in the bullpen. Don't know if that means it's time for a new arm or not. Yeah, it does look like the reliever will emerge from the right field line where the Endicott bullpen is stationed. Jordan Gottsman's day is done. Pretty solid. I think the thought process here for Endicott is don't let the Lynchburg lineup get 4 looks at Jordan Gottsman. So we'll figure out the new arm here in just a moment. Let's just keep it right here. Gottsman throws the ball in his buddy's glove there as he approaches. His day is done. We'll see our second pitcher for Endicott and just our third of the ball game as Wesley Arrington has gone 5 strong for Lynchburg. He's got his team in position as usual. It's just what we've come to expect from the Sheriff, number 45, Wes Arrington.
Now pitching for Endicott, number 33, Bagshaw.
All right, so the new pitcher for Endicott was announced, and it's going to be number 33. And for the Endicott Gulls from the Boston area, this will be Cayenne Bagshaw. Number 33 is Cayenne Bagshaw. He's a hard-throwing sophomore left-hander from Amherst, New Hampshire. He will enter with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. There is a runner on third. That is Joe Munitz. And Bagshaw will be facing the leadoff hitter, Brandon Garcia. So Cayenne Bagshaw on the season. This will be appearance number 20. He has a 3-0 record with 4 saves and a 2.10 earned run average. Another guy that the batting average against is very, very good from a pitcher's perspective. Hitters hitting just 148 off Cayenne Bagshaw. Endicott's an interesting team. They've got 16 saves, but those saves are spread amongst 7 different players, interestingly enough. Bagshaw is one of 3 Gull relievers that has 4 saves this year. And then they've got 4 other guys, it looks like, that have 1 apiece. Lynchburg's got a little bit of that as well, and we'll discuss the bullpen more if that comes up in this game. Bullpen might not be needed for Wesley Arrington. You never know. Breaking ball, called strike on Brandon Garcia. So Cayenne Bagshaw enters in the top of the 6th inning with 2 outs. Third baseman is in. Brandon Garcia swinging at the second pitch and fouling it back. It's now an 0-2 count with 2 outs. Third baseman will back up now and join the rest of the infield at a normal depth and a straight up alignment. Outfield is the same. Medium deep, maybe actually slightly shallow on Brandon Garcia. Here comes the 0-2. Garcia dumps that into right. This ball is looping. This ball is down. It's an RBI single for Brandon Garcia. He'll take a hard turn and then reverse course back to first base. Pounds the bag, and Brandon Garcia is pumped up. Hollywood's got another base hit and RBI. Brandon Garcia has stepped up with runners on every single time this game. Brandon Garcia in his first at-bat flew out to center. Every other time he's come up with runners on, and he has delivered. A short little conversation there between Ben Jones and the catcher, John Mulready, that the umpire will actually get between. That's rare to see. Ben Jones is about as nice as a guy as you'll find. But the umpire actually had to step between those guys. Ben Jones will check in with 2 outs and a runner on first. That's Brandon Garcia. Ben Jones wanted the first, fouls it away. Back to Hollywood for a second. BG had the 2 RBI single in the 4-run second inning. Brandon Garcia put the ball in play in the 4th inning that scored a run. It was actually ruled an error, so he doesn't get an RBI. But then an RBI single right there, down the right field line. Hollywood's made a couple fine defensive plays, and the one highlight reel grab as well, taking the hit away over top of his head. 1-1 pitch coming up to Ben Jones. Bagshaw delivers. Jones sends this ball deep in the left center gap, but the left fielder, Notarangelo, is there. He'll make the grab, and the top of the 6th is over, but Lynchburg adds 1 more. Hornets on top, 6-0 over the top-ranked team in the country. The Endicott Gulls are on the ropes here after 5.5 in East Lake, Ohio, to begin NCAA championship play. It's game one in the championship tournament for Lynchburg and Endicott. The Hornets on top right now, 6-0. 4 in the second for Lynchburg, 1 in the fourth, and 1 in the sixth. Brandon Garcia, a big part of the success here for Lynchburg. The sophomore shortstop is having a day. He's got 2 hits, 3 RBI. We thought he had another hit and another RBI, but they ruled it an error. Either way, Lynchburg has scored 6 runs on 8 hits. Hornets have left 4 stranded, 3 in scoring position. Lynchburg has been hit twice. They have taken 1 walk. First pitch hack from the leadoff man. Framertino will find the glove of Quinn Madden, who was waltzing back towards the track. Kind of a casual grab there from Quinn Madden, but he does make the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th for Wes Arrington. The sheriff has jurisdiction. How do you say it, jurisdiction? That's tough. That's hard to say when you're on the road up here in Eastlake. But Wesley Arrington, the sheriff, has slapped the handcuffs on some hitters. There's a 0-1 start to the 2-hole man, Dylan Pacheco. He is 1 for 2 off Wes Arrington. Singled in his first at bat. That came way back in the bottom of the first. Game 1 of the tournament for these squads. It's game 2 of 4 today. And Lynchburg fans will remember from last year, it could be a long stay. You could end up spending over a week on the road here in this national championship tournament. Anywhere from 2 to 7 games, I think, are possible in this deal. 1-2 count. Arrington, set. Here's the pitch. That was well off the plate. That actually went straight to the backstop. Count is even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's 1 out. Bottom of the 6th inning. But yeah, if you win the first 2 games, you get that day off on Sunday. We can talk more about that tomorrow if it looks like it's going to happen. Outfield slid the opposite way on Pacheco. There's the 2-2, just off the plate for ball 3. And back to that pitching. You'd love to keep that in order. You'd love to have your starters go deep in games. Payoff pitch coming from Arrington. Went inside. Pacheco able to fight it off. That was just off the tape. That was off the grip of the metal bat there. Good job to stay alive, though, by Dylan Pacheco. Endicott is the home team. They are the number 1 seed in this tournament. They are the number 1 ranked team in all of Division III baseball. Gulls are in the white-on-white, white top, white pants to go along with dark blue and green trim. There's the pitch from Arrington. Got it inside where he wanted it again, but Pacheco fought it off. And we'll try a full count delivery in just a moment. Lynchburg in the road, gray top, gray pants, black hat with the red bill. Arrington sporting the red cleats, low pants, no stirrups showing this time for Wesley Arrington. He's set, ready for another payoff delivery. That is an unplayable delivery. He got Dylan Pacheco to fish at a ball that was diving down and away out of the zone. Great pitch by Wesley Arrington. That's strikeout number 6 for the sheriff. And there's 2 outs now in the bottom of the 6th. Brings up Nicholas Notarangelo. Left fielder reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning. That was the ball to Brandon Garcia, where he wheeled and threw to third to get Pacheco. And Notarangelo has also flown out to right field. Well, Quinn Madden's played a good right field again for Lynchburg, as per usual. Lynchburg outfield defensively, really second to none. Second to none. Ben Jones couldn't even get a leap on that ball that was hit over his head. Quinn Madden will slide in, cut this one off. Notarangelo held it first. Again, fine defense from Lynchburg. This time Quinn Madden sprinting to the gap to cut that line drive off before it could get to the warning track or wall. That's a single, a 2-out single for Nicholas Notarangelo. It'll bring up Danny McDougal. He struck out and popped out to the second baseman, Ben Jones. McDougal is extremely dangerous. Last year in Cedar Rapids, McDougal was 6 for 8 in the 2 games for Endicott. Endicott lost to Baldwin Wallace on day 1 and then Misericordia on day 2. And fun fact for you, Lynchburg, Endicott, and Misericordia are the 3 teams that are back in the D3 World Series again from last year. Arrington fires, strike 1. Up and in, but in the strike zone, and now it's an 0-1 count. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Lynchburg leading 6-0. Winner of this game will face Misericordia. They were a 6-3 winner over Pomona Pitzer. Arrington throws. Josh Jorman scoops that ball up. Jorman did stay in to play first base, by the way. Came in to pinch run for Eric Hyatt. Hyatt's day ends at 2 for 3 with 2 doubles. Eric Hyatt could be heating up. The 0-1 from Arrington. Swung on and lifted foul. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs to Danny McDougal. But yeah, McDougal last year, he hit .426 with 66 hits. His average is down around 300 this season. Yeah, .309 for Danny McDougal. He started every game. This is game 49 for Endicott. Still been very good, but the average taken a slight hit. Hard to repeat what he did last year. He was a 2024 preseason All-American. He homered in both games against Johns Hopkins last weekend. Danny McDougal. So you got to be careful here. 0-2 delivery coming from Wes Arrington. The pitch, you got McDougal out front, rolls it over the third base bag. This is going to be extra bases for Danny McDougal. It's down in the corner. Eddie Gimble will field. Relay throw coming. Runner turns around third. Brandon Garcia will throw home. It's not in time, and the Endicott Gulls have scored their first run of the ball game. It's a stand-up double from Danny McDougal. An 0-2 pitch that I think probably was not quite where Wes Arrington wanted it, or maybe we should be saying where the pitch calling in the Lynchburg dugout wanted it. But McDougal got out front, just rolled that ball down the third base line. Gavin Collins gave a dive, but couldn't get there in time, and now it's a 6-1 ball game. So yes, there's a cushion if you're Lynchburg. You're still on top by 5, but what you don't want is this dangerous Endicott team gathering momentum. And right on cue, assistant coach Michael Solbach will come out of the dugout to try to settle down Wesley Arrington a bit and review the game plan to another good hitter, Brendan O'Neill. Brendan O'Neill has struck out twice, once swinging, once looking. He's the senior from Ponte Vedra, Florida. So we get a moment here to discuss everything that's happening, and there's so much happening. Again, we encourage you to keep up with it all on lynchburgsports.com. Follow along with the social media. There's some great things happening out there. Great way to stay plugged in as a fan. I just love it. And hopefully we'll get some post-game interviews going on. I know we will. A reminder that our LHSN audio broadcast is made possible with support from Chenega MIOS, Chenega Military Intelligence and Operations Support. Put their capabilities to work. Visit their website. We'll talk more about them here in just a bit. It's a first pitch that is low and away. Ball 1 to Brendan O'Neill. So Endicott has scored. The shutout is over. It will be an earned run for Wes Arrington. He's now only allowed 4 of those in his last 5 postseason starts. Checks the runner, throws. This one is just under the knee, and it's ball 2. Got a little reaction from Wes there. I think he thought that one was probably good enough to be a called strike. But instead, it's a 2-0 count. Dangerous hitter here with Brendan O'Neill, by the way. O'Neill, on the season, has 16 home runs. He'll swing at this opposite way, down the line and fair. It's a double down the left field line. O'Neill will turn into second. He'll stop there, but now Endicott has scored 2 in the inning. Brendan O'Neill going the opposite way to bring in Danny McDougal. Back-to-back doubles for Endicott, and it's 3 straight hits now for the Gulls. Lynchburg still leads by 4. This is back to that's why you do all that hard work early in the game. That's why you maximize the opportunities and score the runs when you can. Lynchburg has 6 runs. They've only left 4 on base. So overall, they have been pretty efficient scoring-wise. But the Gulls' comeback might be on right now. And if you're Wesley Arrington, you want to try to put out that fire before it can turn into a massive blaze. First pitch is low. Sean Pokerock with a nice block to keep it in front, keep the runner at second. That's Brendan O'Neill. The hitter is TJ Laponis. Shortstop has struck out, and he flew out on a well-hit ball to right field. 2 outs, 1-0 count. For the bottom of the 6th inning, it's a 6-2 Lynchburg lead. Gulls have won 23 in a row. Lynchburg has won 10 in a row. Hornets have won 14 of their last 16. Get this number for Endicott. They've won 36 of 37 and just 2 losses this season. So they've won 46 of 45. Soft ground ball to Gavin Collins. He'll gather and throw across, and the inning is over. But Endicott does get on the board. They trim the Lynchburg lead to 4. We are through 6 complete. It's the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. We're broadcasting live from East Lake, Ohio, thanks to Chenega MIOS. They're proud to support the Lynchburg baseball family, and like a family, they support each other with every win. Join a workplace where teamwork and family values shine. Find your future career at MIOScareers.com. That's MIOScareers.com. Lynchburg leads 6-2 as we move to the top of the 7th inning. The championship rounds here in game 1 of the tournament for the Gulls of Endicott and the Hornets of Lynchburg. Hope you're loving this wherever you are this Friday afternoon. This is game 2 of 4 here today. Lynchburg is off to a good start. Endicott building a little bit there in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 runs on 3 hits. Gulls do leave 1 runner stranded in scoring position. No Lynchburg errors there. Endicott now as a team has 2 runs on 6 hits total. Gulls have stranded 4 in the game, 2 in scoring position. Here's Quinn Madden to lead off the top of the 7th for Lynchburg. He's facing a new pitcher. This will be number 50, Chris Jenkins, in to face 3-4-5 this time around for Lynchburg. It'll be Madden Pokerock and then Josh Jormond, who assumed the spot of Eric Hyatt, a move that we have seen quite a bit this postseason. Madden looked at a first pitch slurve breaking ball for a ball, and then a fastball comes in at the belt line for strike 1. 1-1 count to the junior, Quinn Madden. Still looking for his first hit of the game. Flew out to center, popped out to the first baseman and the second baseman. Sean Pokerock is on deck. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. 2-1 on the way from Jenkins. Madden will study that. It's low and away for ball 3. Chris Jenkins on the season is 2-0. This is appearance number 8. He's worked just 8 1/3 innings. Kind of a side armor, low 3/4. He'll get the outer edge of the strike zone. And it's a full count now. Quinn Madden got rid of the bat, has to go pick it up and apologize to the umpire real quick, get back in the batter's box. Chris Jenkins is looking in. Now he'll come set. Nobody out here, the top of the 7th. The pitch. Madden flares it foul. Yeah, Pokerock on deck is 2 for 2 with a walk. Josh Jorman has had a great postseason. He's yet to hit in this ball game. Jenkins pitches. Madden can't catch up to that high heater, and it's out number 1 of the 7th inning. Lynchburg went 3 up, 3 down in the first. Every other inning, they've gotten at least a runner on. Lynchburg scored 4 in the second, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th. Here is Sean Pokerock. He's been a big part of really everything. Great job as the catcher for Lynchburg, as always. Sean Pokerock has kept the ball in front. Works with the pitchers so well. He's a guy whose defense has just grown and grown. Really has been a great hitter ever since he stepped on campus on Lakeside Drive. Postseason heroics last year for Sean Pokerock. 8 postseason hits for Pokey. Got a 2-0 count as Jenkins has missed the zone a couple times. Pokerock, white batting gloves, now gets into his leg kick and takes a fastball for a called strike. Not a big move swinging the bat from Sean Pokerock. That's always fun to just look at different hitters, how they operate. Just a slight crouch, slight bend in the knees, hip hinge. Pokerock's ready for the 2-1. He'll flare this one foul, and now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Endicott shut out through 5 offensively. They did just recently score 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Talk about Lynchburg so often matches the other team's runs. We've only got 1 out to do it with now as Sean Pokerock swings through a fastball for out number 2 of the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts there for Jenkins. Looks like the starter, Jordan Gottsman, he struck out 4 Lynchburg Hornets. So Lynchburg did a good job putting the ball in play against a high strikeout guy, the starter, Jordan Gottsman, the All-American Jordan Gottsman. That ball nearly hit Josh Jorman. It's ball 1 with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Josh Jorman in the playoffs is hitting .313. He's on base at .421. He scored 5 runs. That's all for a guy who has not started in the playoffs. He did start 1 playoff game against Bridgewater. Jorman will put a 1-0 fastball in play, but the second baseman will gobble up and throw to first. It's a pretty quick inning for Lynchburg. First time they've failed to get a base runner on since the beginning of the game, the first inning. Lynchburg still leads 6-2 after 6.5 at Classic Park. It's stretch time here as we go to the bottom of the 7th in Northeast Ohio. Hello again, baseball fans. Kyle Hoehne hanging out with you. NCAA National Championship Baseball on LHSN is brought to you by Chiniga, M-I-O-S. You can find them online at mioscareers.com, mioscareers.com. So, not cause for concern yet for Lynchburg. Don't be alarmed by any means, but this is a scary moment when you think about the momentum swings in a baseball game. Lynchburg led 6-0. Endicott scores 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th, and then Lynchburg has a quick 7th inning. So you go 3 up, 3 down. To me, that's where teams really can get momentum. When they get runs and then they get back in the dugout really quickly, that's where that fire can grow into that blaze. It's just kind of smoldering right now for Endicott as Robbie Ledkowski watches a slider go off the plate for ball 1. It's a 1-1 count. Wesley Arrington still pitching for Lynchburg. He'll get Ledkowski to pop up. Ben Jones battling the sun. Now Quentin Madden will call him off and do the same, but an easy grab for Madden as he hustles in from deep right field to make the first out of the inning. Good start there for Wesley Arrington. The other element at play is Endicott's getting more and more information on the sheriff. They're seeing more and more pitches from Wes Arrington. So that can be obviously beneficial to an offense. The numbers, the new school stats say the opposing batting average will go up about 100 points each time through the lineup. Tough to have a high batting average on that first pitch from Wesley Arrington. That was low and away. Perfect pitcher's pitch for called strike 1. He'll go back to the same spot, and now it's an 0-2 count pretty quickly on catcher John Mulready. Mulready's grounded out to the second baseman and struck out. We are in the bottom of the 7th. With a fastball from Arrington, looks like it's got just as much life as early in the game. Might even be faster. I don't know if Arrington's emptying the tank here or what. Maybe he was saving up a little, trying to pace himself, but now Arrington, he's got the flamethrower out. Here comes the 1-2. Ball fouled back by the catcher, Mulready. 9-hole man Brendan Walsh is on deck. He's 0 for 2. 6 hits total for Endicott. They got 3 of those in the bottom of the 6th inning. They were 3 in a row. Arrington ready for another 1-2. Kicks and deals. Whoa, just missed the bullseye on the outside corner. Arrington seems to be living there. And again, it's a good place to live if you're a pitcher. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Arrington went inside with the slider. Couldn't peel it off over the plate, though. And now, count is full. Pretty good at bat from John Mulready. Fouled a good pitch off. See if Arrington just goes middle here. Looks over the target, set, now fires. This ball's popped up, really same spot as the last one. Ben Jones is under it, now called off again by Quinn Madden. It's a carbon copy. You could have just showed the previous play right there. It's almost exactly how the last out was made, and now there's 2 outs in the inning. As Quinn Madden has grabbed both. He underhands it back into the infield. And now the 9-hole man, Brendan Walsh, will step up with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Arrington looking in. Now here comes the first pitch of the at-bat. Fastball right down Broadway for a strike. Arrington is going after hitters. There's no doubt about that. Wes Arrington can fall into that effectively wild category from time to time. This ball swung on and put into left. Eddie Gimbel is there. Casual grab for the final out of the 7th inning. So it's a fast one for both teams, but more beneficial for Lynchburg as the Hornets lead by 4 as we march to the top of the 8th inning here in East Lake, Ohio. It's National Championship Baseball on LHSN, brought to you by Chaniga MIOS. Top of the 8th inning in the opening game for the Lynchburg Hornets, the 2023 national champions. And they're really talking about that a lot more now. Early in the season, I don't think the guys really wanted to talk about it too much. You got to take it one game at a time. All those other cliches that you hear. And I think for the good teams, it's not a cliche. I think they really live by that. They really do live one pitch, one game at a time. But now you are starting to hear more Hornets say, this is the national championship team. This is our title defense. We are the reigning national champs. They would love to defend that. Haven't had a repeat D3 national champion since Marietta. I believe that goes back to 2012. So over a decade. We are at Classic Park here in East Lake, Ohio. This is the home to the Lake County Captains. Stadium was built in 2003. Holds just over 7,000 people. I'd say we've got a grand here. I'd say we've got 1,000 strong as Gavin Collins checks in to begin the 8th inning. First pitch is wide from Jenkins. Still the pitcher out there for Endicott. Had a 3-up, 3-down 7th. So the Gulls have left Chris Jenkins on the mound to face Gavin Collins at least. Collins is under this, floats it to the right side. Second baseman Dylan Pacheco is there, battling the sun. He'll drift into shallow right field and make the catch on a pop-up. It's now 5 straight Lynchburg hitters retired in order. Last Lynchburg base runner was Brandon Garcia. It came back in the 6th inning when Garcia had the RBI single. Brandon Garcia has 2 hits. He's driven in 3. He's been on 3 times. Reached on what was ruled an error. Strike 1 to Joe Munitz. Munitz has been on twice, 1 single. Reached on 1 error himself and struck out in his second at bat. First time facing Chris Jenkins. Munitz will watch the breaking ball come in mid-shin, and it's ball one. 1-1 count. Eddie Gimbel is on deck. Could see a pinch hit option there, but it looks like Eddie Gimbel's he's standing on the on-deck circle. Maybe ready to hit here against Chris Jenkins in the top of the 8th inning. Strike 2. Joe Munitz will have to go to work here with a 1-2 count. Jenkins set. Side armor twirls. This one is low for ball 2. It's maybe an arm angle that's just slightly higher than a true sidearm, but it's a very low 3/4. Here's the 2-2 from Jenkins. Munitz sprays it to the third baseman. Long throw coming here. That ball is picked, dug out of the dirt nicely by Danny McDougal at first base. Boy, McDougal had a key error earlier in the game on a ball hit by Joe Munitz, but that time using the backhand swipe to perfection there on a low throw by the third baseman, Robbie Ledkowski. So there's 2 outs. 6 in a row retired by Endicott pitching. Eddie Gimbel will take strike 1. O'Kelly McWilliams the 4th on deck. He is 1 for 3. Gimbel is actually 0 for 1, had a successful sacrifice bunt and was also hit by a pitch. That was in the 4-run second inning for Lynchburg. And Lynchburg does lead 6-2 in the top of the 8th. Jenkins will hit the outer edge with a breaking ball, and now the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Gimbel's still looking for his first hit of the national championship tournament. Maybe right here. Jenkins. This one is high. No, this one is called strike 3. Gimbel thought it was high. The umpire disagreed. And it's another 3-up, 3-down inning. Chris Jenkins, the reliever for Endicott, has sat down 6 in a row. Let's see if the Gulls can try to continue their comeback charge. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. Lynchburg leading 6-2 on LHSN. Our broadcast brought to you by Chaniga MIOS. Hi again, baseball fans. It's Kyle Hoehne hanging out with you on a beautiful, sunny Friday afternoon in Northeast Ohio. Our broadcast is brought to you by Chaniga MIOS, Military Intelligence and Operations Support. They've got their strategic business unit as well. They do things like advanced analytics, architecture and engineering, cloud computing, cybersecurity, data visualization, facilities management, information technology, intelligence, language services, and a lot more. And they also support their native shareholders. It's an Alaskan native-based company, Alaskan native-owned company based in Northern Virginia, Chaniga MIOS. Okay, back to baseball, and we got to get there quick because it's a lead-off first-pitch single for Joey Framertino. Framertino is aboard with nobody out in the bottom of the 8th inning. So again, not a time to panic if you're Lynchburg by any means. But the pressure is right now. Endicott knows they're running out of chances. We're in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch swing here by Pacheco. Eddie Gimbel coming on to make a diving grab, but he can't get it. Ball stayed in front of him, so it's just 90 feet on the advance. That'll go down as a single by Pacheco, and it's back-to-back hits. That's back-to-back hits on back-to-back pitches, by the way. The Gulls are coming out trying to ambush Wes Arrington early. They know Wesley Arrington is coming at him with trying to throw first pitch strikes anyway. Not always succeeding, but Wesley Arrington has been in the zone. We know Wesley Arrington is more than capable. Here comes another mound visit. This time it is again the assistant coach, Michael Solbach. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning, but it's 2-on with nobody out for the Endicott Gulls. Wesley Arrington has been outstanding. He has deserved everything he's gotten with the way he's pitched in this game. And you can make a strong case that Wesley Arrington deserves to stay in the game. But the coach can't always worry about what guys deserve. The coach is thinking about, how do we win the game? What moves do we need to make to win the game? Lynchburg has bullpen options that are very capable, and those options would include guys like Colin McGuire, Mason McDowell, Austin Riney would be a key left-handed option for Lynchburg. And the list doesn't stop there. Logan Tapman is a thought, and so on and so forth. But right now, Lynchburg will stay with the Sheriff. Wes Arrington facing Nicholas Notarangelo. Left fielder bats third for Endicott. He sniffed at a breaking ball that was low, but didn't take a bite, and it's a 1-0 count. Now, you can tell Notarangelo wanted to swing at the first pitch there as well. He's 1 for 3. Did reach on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Left-handed hitter. There's the pitch from Arrington. Called strike 1. Nice location. Lynchburg has the corners in. Middle is back into double play depth here with 2 runners on. First and second with nobody out in the bottom of the 8th. Outfield shaded to the opposite field on the left-handed hitting Notarangelo. Arrington checks the runner, now deals. This ball is flared foul, and it's a 1-2 count. Ground ball or a strikeout here would be really big for Lynchburg. Remember, Lynchburg defensively has turned 36 double plays this season. None in this ball game. What a time it would be for one of those. Arrington set, ready to spin off a 1-2. Wide left, ball 2. Wes Arrington again. To me, the velocity looks really, really good. I don't think we've seen a dip in that at all, and in fact, maybe it's even gone up a little bit as the game's gone on. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning. Arrington checks the runner. The 2-2, got him swinging. Big pitch right there from the Sheriff. That's strikeout number 7. He gets Notarangelo to go after a pitch that was diving out of the strike zone down, and there's 1 out. And now Lynchburg's in that 1 pitch away situation. That's what you're telling yourself if you're a pitcher right here. I'm just 1 pitch away. Danny McDougal doubled in his last at bat. It was an 0-2 off-speed pitch that he sent down the left field line. He's a right-handed hitter, bats with runners on first and second. Arrington will spin and soft toss one to Ben Jones, who came over to cover the bag on a potential pickoff play. 3 straight hits in the 6th inning. Endicott has gotten 2 straight hits here in the bottom of the 8th, but Arrington just got a key strikeout for out number 1 of the inning. The first pitch, McDougal swings it, hits a line drive over Ben Jones' head. That's down for a base hit. Runners will hold at second and third, and now it's bases loaded for the Endicott Gulls. So not 3 straight hits this time, but how about 3 of 4 batters reach on base hits, and there is 1 out. And it's another first pitch. Note that, baseball fans. Endicott is swinging early in the count. They are aggressive. They have seen Wesley Arrington's offerings. They think they've got a pretty good idea of what the Sheriff is bringing. They're going after the first pitch. That's the chess match for a baseball coach. Do you then try to throw first pitch balls? Do you set up off the plate? Do you try to go up? Do you try to go down? Or maybe you just hope the Gulls hit it at somebody. Bases loaded. That pitch was off the plate, and Brendan O'Neill did not offer. 1-0 count. O'Neill slapped an opposite field double in his last at bat. That came back in the 6th inning. Lynchburg has O'Neill played to pull, so nobody is on that left field line right now. The 1-0 on the way from Arrington. Called strike 1. Nice location, low in the zone. Looked to be the slider from the Sheriff Wesley Arrington. Crowd coming alive for both squads. Players are hanging on the front rail on the dugout here at Classic Park in East Lake, Ohio. 1-1. Arrington well off the plate with that one. That was not by design. That was what you'd just call a miss from Wesley Arrington. He's got the ball back, and he'll step back on top of the hill and toe the rubber and get ready for a 2-1 delivery here with 1 out. Bases are loaded for Endicott in the bottom of the 8th inning. Arrington, deep breath, longer hold, now pitches. Snapper for strike 2. There's a little backdoor slider that starts in the other batter's box from the left-handed hitting Brendan O'Neill's perspective, and then comes back to just catch the outer edge of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases are loaded. O'Neill represents the tying run. Here's the pitch from Arrington. O'Neill flares that one back foul. Wesley Arrington, the team leader in wins at 9-2. And this start will move him into a tie for the nation lead in starts. I believe this is start number 16 of the season for Wesley Arrington. Here's the 2-2. Kicks and fires. Got him swinging. Strikeout. Brendan O'Neill goes down on strikes. Arrington has gotten the only 2 outs of the inning with the punch out. That was a nasty pitch. He threw the backdoor slider earlier in the at-bat. That was kind of the back foot slider. That's the one that, as a lefty, sort of starts on the inside corner of the strike zone and then ends up nearly hitting your back foot. In fact, that's kind of the teaching or the coaching point to throw that pitch. 2 outs. Here's the shortstop, TJ Laponis. Base is still loaded. Arrington just under the zone with a first pitch slider. It's a 1-0 count. 3 hits in the inning for Endicott. Has gotten the bases loaded, but Wesley Arrington has gotten 2 key strikeouts. 1-0 delivery on the way. The right-hander fires. This ball is sprayed foul. 1-1 count. Lynchburg has had 7 batters sat down in order, 6 of them by reliever Chris Jenkins. Kyan Bayshaw pitched to a couple hitters for Endicott. We'll see if Jenkins comes back out. Gulls have used 3 pitchers. Lynchburg has only needed 1 so far. The Sheriff standing on the mound, looking like one as usual. Wes fires the 1-1 off the plate, ball 2. It's a 6-2 Lynchburg lead. What a ball game, as expected. It never comes easy in postseason play, and I think that's the way Lynchburg wants it. I think Lynchburg knows it should get harder every step of the way. They know they'll have to play even better. They've been great in the postseason. I think these Hornets players and coaches know, hey, we're going to get tested even more. Great spot on the pitch there from Wesley Arrington. 2-2. Yeah, this is a big one right here. And the crowd is really coming alive. Hornets fans on their feet. Players at the top step of the dugout. Arrington looks over the target. And he got him swinging. My goodness, the Sheriff does it again. Here he comes. Wesley Arrington marching back to the dugout. Endicott gets the bases loaded, but 3 strikeouts from Wesley Arrington preserve the 4-run advantage for Lynchburg. Hornets on top, 6-2, as we move to the top of the 9th here at Classic Park in East Lake, Ohio. The Endicott Gulls threaten in the 8th inning. They get 3 singles in the inning, but Wesley Arrington gets 3 strikeouts. Punch outs 7, 8, and 9 in the game for the Sheriff. He is looking like one again. Through TJ Laponis, the Endicott shortstop, a disappearing slider. Now you see it, now you don't. Arrington has had the flamethrower out there with the fastball. But the slider is working with great effectiveness for Wesley Arrington. The 5th-year man has pitched 8 complete. Another postseason start where Arrington goes deep into the ball game. Don't know if it's going to be a complete game yet for Wesley Arrington. But man, oh man, Wes has done great work so far. O'Kelly McWilliams will try to bunt. That ball got popped up, but not within catching distance for any Gull defenders. And IV will head back to the batter's box with an 0-1 count. 9-1-2 due up here in the top of the 9th for Lynchburg. Insurance would be nice. Insurance would be very nice for Lynchburg. Chris Jenkins has retired 6 in a row. 7 straight Hornet hitters shut down and sat down between the Endicott pitching. Ball 1 there as Jenkins misses the zone high. Chris Jenkins entered in the top of the 7th. He's got 3 strikeouts in the mix as well. Oh, we got a base runner there. O'Kelly McWilliams. Turn and burn time for IV as he slashes one down the third baseline. A stand-up double for the fifth-year man from Oakton, Virginia. He's got 2 doubles in the game. Eric Hyatt has 2 doubles in the game. Brandon Garcia has 2 hits and 3 runners driven in. The hits keep coming because here is that man, BG Hollywood, checking in with speed and scoring position for Lynchburg. O'Kelly McWilliams at second base with a lead-off double. First hit off this talented reliever, Chris Jenkins for Lynchburg. Brandon Garcia, a sophomore from Durham, North Carolina. The guy that the teammates call Hollywood. And they called him that as a first year last year. Corners are in for Endicott. They're guarding against a potential sac bunt. Pickoff attempt. This throw is wild. This throw's in the outfield. Kelly McWilliams will get up and scramble to third. Well, if Lynchburg was even thinking about a sacrifice bunt, they don't need to now. Brandon Garcia will hit with Kelly McWilliams standing 90 feet away. Nobody out here in the top of the 9th. Gulls are going to pull the infield in. Can't say I blame them. Inner defenses are all on the grass here at Classic Park. Brandon Garcia still waiting on the first pitch. Well, he'll have to wait a little longer as Endicott coach is going to step out to the mound here. Well, Chris Jenkins has been outstanding, but it looks like there will be a move made. A new pitcher coming in for the Endicott Gulls. We'll pause here for just a moment, identify the new wing, and reset the situation for you. Lynchburg leading 6-2 in the top of the 9th in Game 1 of their D3 World Series appearance, trying to defend the 2023 national title. Sounds like the new pitcher for Endicott will be number 10, John Conley. This will be the 15th game he's pitched in. 13 have been starts. So John Conley, just his second bullpen appearance of the year. He'll be facing Lynchburg's leadoff hitter, Brandon Garcia. Garcia is 2 for 4 in this game. Also reached on an error, a ball we thought could have been ruled a hit. Brandon Garcia has extended a hit streak now to 4. He has 11 postseason hits in 11 games. Brandon Garcia has the on-base percentage over 450 now in postseason play. And it's multi-hit game number 20 of the season for Brandon Garcia. He made a flashy leaping grab to take a hit away earlier in this ball game. Brandon Garcia will face a new pitcher, John Conley. And facing an infield that is drawn in for Endicott. Strike 1 to Brandon Garcia. John Conley is a right-hander. I mentioned this is just relief appearance number 2 of the season. But when you get in this World Series situation, when you get into tournament situation, some of that goes out the wayside. Strike 2 on Brandon Garcia. Sometimes your key relievers will become starters. Think Jack Batchmore last season for Lynchburg. Other times your key starters go to the back end of the bullpen. Garcia hits one up the middle. O'Kelly McWilliams will hold. Shortstop TJ Laponis made a good play to check McWilliams and then still throw in time to get Brandon Garcia. Still a great day for Hollywood, but not what he wanted right there off the new pitcher. And this will be Ben Jones. There is one out now in the top of the 9th. Lynchburg leading by 4, but an insurance run or 2 or 3 would feel very good right now if you're the Hornets. Infield still in here with one out. So Ben Jones is a guy, much like Brandon Garcia, who knows the situation. He will be trying to get something he can lift and get airborne for a sac fly opportunity. Although with the infield in, the hole should get slightly bigger. Ben Jones will slash at an 0-1 offering from John Conley and foul it back. Here's the 0-2. Conley out of the windup. Deals to Ben Jones. He'll hit this ball up the middle. O'Kelly McWilliams was warp speed headed home, and he will score. Second baseman looked at home, but knew because of the break and the speed from O'Kelly McWilliams, he was not going to get Ivy at home. He settles for the out at first. It's a ground out RBI for Ben Jones. That will bring in the 7th run of the game for Lynchburg. 7-2. Hornets on top. Quinn Madden will bat with the bases clear in the top of the 9th. So Lynchburg does get that key insurance run. Breaking ball misses on the first pitch to Madden. How about O'Kelly McWilliams? Lead-off double, gets to third on an errant pickoff attempt at second, and then scores on the Ben Jones. Oh, look out. Quinn Madden has just battered a ball in the right center gap. Quinn Madden just pelting that baseball over the outfielders' heads. One bounce into the fence, and that's a stand-up double. My goodness. Lynchburg, the power hitting is coming alive. Actually did not have a ton of extra base hits in the regional and the super regional play. I think some of that was due to the quality of the pitching. But now, I mean, let's count them up. Eric Hyatt's got 2 doubles. O'Kelly McWilliams has 2 doubles. That's 4. Now Quinn Madden just blistering a ball in the opposite field gap for a stand-up double. This is Sean Pokerock. Pokey is 2 for 3. He's walked, and now Sean Pokerock has been hit by a pitch. First one just got him right in the wallet there, right in the backside. He'll feel that. Catchers get beat up so much anyway. And then, so you get beat up while you're catching, then you got to go in there and hit, and all of a sudden the pitcher hits you. I think for Sean Pokerock on the season now, we know Lynchburg gets hit a lot as a team. That's number 3 in the game. 89 as a team for Lynchburg this year. And for Sean Pokerock, that's the 9th time he's been bopped. Here's Josh Jorman. Jorman grounded out to second in his first at bat. Eric Hyatt started this spot and was 2 for 3 with those 2 doubles. Jorman ready for the first pitch. He'll watch it at the knee, and it's an 0-1 count. Pitcher is number 10, John Conley for Endicott. He has leaked a run here. Ben Jones with a ground-out RBI to score O'Kelly McWilliams. Josh Jorman's going to study the second pitch. That's also a called strike. He's in an 0-2 hole with 2 outs and 2 on. Quinn Madden is at second after the double. Sean Pokerock at first after being hit. Jorman hands up, awaits the 0-2. Fastball stayed up, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Winner of this game gets Misericordia. They took down Pomona Pitzers 6-3 in the opening contest of this national championship tournament. Swing and a miss. Josh Jorman is down on strikes, and Lynchburg will try to close out a Game 1 victory. We are moving to the bottom of the 9th, and the Sheriff, Wesley Arrington, is coming back out to try to wrap up another complete game. Do not miss the conclusion of this one, baseball fans. It's coming up next on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network, brought to you by Chiniga, MIOS.
The NCAA thanks all of the student athletes, coaches, administrators, and fans for their commitment and contributions since 1973.
We are about to start the bottom of the 9th inning here from Classic Park in East Lake, Ohio, just outside Cleveland. Lynchburg has liked their time in Northeast Ohio so far. They enjoyed their time in Southern California as well. The undefeated postseason run is at 10-0 right now. Lynchburg looking to continue it, make it 11 straight. and knock off a team that has not been defeated since April 13th. Endicott comes into this game at 46-2. They are the #1 team in the nation. Lynchburg has used that as motivation, the 8 seed. And look, I think all 8 teams that have made it this far are more than capable. I don't even know that you need seeding, but I guess you got to match the teams up somehow. And Lynchburg right now matching up very well. First pitch put in play. Ben Jones tried to dive after that ball. So did Josh Jorman, but the leadoff runner is on. The first pitch swing from Robbie Ledkowski. He just dumps that one into shallow right field. Another first pitch hack from Endicott. We're trying to keep an eye on those. Gall's last 4 hits have come on the first pitch. And again, if you're Wesley Arrington, you know that they are aggressive. So it's a fine line there. How do you try to take away their aggressiveness or perhaps use it against them? Endicott down by 5, though. If you're Arrington, it keeps your pitch count down. That one is taken for strike 1. The hitter is catcher John Mulready. How about Lynchburg? 7 runs on 10 hits. And this is an Endicott team that had a nation best 2.77 earned run average. Batters hitting just .201 against the Gulls as a team. And Lynchburg has pounded out 10 hits. 5 of those are doubles. Half of them are extra base hits. Endicott has 2 runs on 10 hits, by the way. Nice pitch from Wesley Arrington, I think by design off the plate there. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. There's nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Gulls need 5 to tie, 6 for a walk-off. Endicott has won 23 in a row. This one flared back foul by John Mulready. The catcher is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Arrington has struck out 9. He has been breaking off that wipeout slider, that knockout slider. I called it a disappearing slider in the last inning where he struck out 3. And Arrington's got the flamethrower going with the heater as well. Went with the slider that time. Boy, that was close, awfully close. Good hold from John Mulready. I don't know how he laid off. Give him some credit, though. Tough take, especially when you're down 5. Arrington's ready again. Set with the runner on first. Swing and a miss. Wes Arrington, the sheriff, has got strikeout number 10. Oh, yeah. 10 punch-outs for Wes Arrington. Oh, by the way, that's a postseason high for Wesley Arrington. With all the things that he's done. I mean, Arrington's got a no-hitter a month ago against Randolph-Macon. He struck out 9 in that game against Macon. 10 strikeouts in this one for Wesley Arrington. Base hit bunt attempted here by the freshman center fielder, Brendan Walker. That one will just, or Brendan Walsh, excuse me. That ball just barely creeps foul as Gavin Collins was storming in from the hot corner, and also Sean Pokerock bouncing out from his catcher's spot. They both watched that one go foul. Almost a little mini collision there as Collins did a little flyby. Yeah, Wesley Arrington. He's got 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. He could be 1 pitch away from another postseason complete game. Here's the pitch to Walsh. Swings on this and fouls it back, excuse me. It's an 0-2 count. The sheriff has a 0.83 earned run average coming into this game in the postseason. 4-0 so far in 4 postseason starts. Here's the 0-2. Oh, boy, bullseye right there for Wesley Arrington. Walsh was completely befuddled by that flamethrower of a fastball. Arrington has struck out 11. And now Lynchburg needs just 1 more out to really get the national title defense started. I mean, it's already started, but to continue the national title defense and start things in Eastlake, Ohio really, really strongly. The Vibes Train Express. The catcher, Sean Pokerock, has been called the conductor. He's been at the front of this locomotive, but Wesley Arrington's been right up there with him. Wes misses the zone with a 1-0 fastball. It's a 7-2 Lynchburg lead. Still doesn't quite feel comfortable yet. Breaking ball, called strike 1. Oh, yeah. 1-1 count. The hitter is Joey Framertino. He's 2 for 4 with a double and a single. Really quality leadoff man at the top of the lineup here for the Gulls. Arrington picks up the leg and throws. Oh, got a half-hearted swing from Frammartino on that one. That's one that the pitchers call a sword right there. And now Lynchburg is one strike away. Crowd coming alive. You can feel it right here for Wes Arrington. The sheriff in command. Looks on to get the sign from Sean Pokerock. Runner on first. 1-2. 2 outs. Here it comes. And he got him. Another strikeout for Wesley Arrington. He Ks 12 in another complete game performance. The sheriff has done it again, fans. Just when you think this guy can't give you any more. He has given Lynchburg so many quality starts. So much great stuff. Just when you think Lynchburg can't get any more from Wesley Arrington, he delivers another postseason gem. Arrington with 12 strikeouts, including the last 6 outs of the game. Arrington struck out 3 in the 8th inning. He struck out 3 in the 9th. Wes saves the best for last, and the sheriff delivers again, and this team delivers again. The Vibes Train Express rolls on. Yes, Cleveland rocks. Lynchburg rolls again. Lynchburg has played their way into the winner's bracket for a second straight season. The 2023 national champs are back. They don't care if they're the 8th seed. Oh, heck, maybe they do care. I said a lot of the guys used it as motivation. Why not? Lynchburg is playing like national champions. They are not playing like an 8th seed. Lynchburg has improved the postseason run now to 11-0. 11 straight victories for the Lynchburg Hornets. They move to 36-15 on the season. They snap a 23-game winning streak for the Endicott Gulls. Endicott has not tasted defeat since April 13th, but they feel it here. They feel the sting of the Lynchburg Hornets. Lynchburg got 4 runs in the 2nd inning. They score 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, and the Hornets add 1 final tally in the top of the 9th. Wes Arrington didn't need insurance, but it probably felt pretty good. Lynchburg wins this one 7-2. Lynchburg 7 runs on 10 hits, 5 doubles in there. Hornets did leave, I believe it's 6 stranded, 4 of those in scoring position. Lynchburg made some great defensive plays. Brandon Garcia, as usual. Gavin Collins with a couple good ones. Quinn Madden with just some casual sliding grabs like he always seems to do. Wesley Arrington made the big pitches when Lynchburg needed him most. Yeah, the sheriff strikes out 12. It's 5-0 now in the postseason for Wes Arrington. This year, if you go back to last year, 6-0 with 1 save, and there's 4 complete games in there for Wes Arrington. He went a complete game against Ithaca a couple weeks ago to get Lynchburg off on the good foot in regional play. The complete game no-hitter against Randolph-Macon in ODAC play. And then another complete game here for the sheriff. Lynchburg wins it 7-2. My goodness, I could stay all afternoon and talk about it. But why don't you plug into the LHSN social media scene, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter/X. And then, of course, we're going to have everything on YouTube. There'll be a scheduled press conference, and then we'll try to catch up with 1 or 2 guys on our own here and just get more of this vibes. Get more of the vibes. They are feeling it right now. Lynchburg wins 7-2. Plenty of heroes to choose from in this one, but you got to start with Wes Arrington. Another complete game. Brandon Garcia, 2 hits, 3 driven in. Ben Jones had an RBI ground out there at the end. O'Kelly McWilliams with 2 doubles. Eric Hyatt with 2 doubles. Sean Pokerock was on 4 times and did a great job as the battery mate for Wes Arrington. So here's the scene for tomorrow, baseball fans. Lynchburg will play at 1:15 again. It is a winner's bracket contest against Misericordia. They defeated Pomona Pitzer 6-3 earlier. It'll be Endicott moving into the loser's bracket. They got to play at 10 a.m. against Pomona Pitzer tomorrow, and this is the upper bracket or bracket 1. Bracket 2 hasn't gotten underway yet. I don't want to bog you down with more details, so just find that information online as well. But yeah, check us out, lynchburgsports.com, and all the social media stuff we will say good afternoon here. Day one, a successful one from East Lake, Ohio. Lynchburg wins it 7-2. We thank you for listening to the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network at the NCAA National Championship Baseball. Our broadcast all weekend and all week are brought to you by Chiniga, MIOS. We'll talk to you tomorrow, scheduled for 1:15, but today was delayed. You know how these tournaments go, baseball fans. You never know. But we'll talk to you soon, and we can't wait to do it again, as Lynchburg probably can't wait to do it again. They defeat Endicott 7-2 and advance on in this NCAA National Championship Baseball Tournament. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Good afternoon, good luck, and go Hornets.